The podcast you are about to listen to contains at least one of the following: strong language, disturbing topics, abusive opinions, generally things that aren't appropriate for little kids or overly sensitive people. So, if any of that stuff's going to get your nose out of joint, this is your chance to turn it off.
So brace yourself tight. You lay it down heavy. You light up the night. No sugar-coated tales, just cold hard facts. In the realm of opinions, there's no turning back. Listen closer, just walk away. But Aaron had to say it. Come what may. Here comes Aaron with the truth untold. No holding back, what's the truth unfold? On the podcast, there will still the righteous stay. You either take it in or let the silence ring.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. This is a live stream that we're doing on Saturday night because, uh, well, Whiskey Hell, the boys are taking the week off. They're having a little decompression time, a little getting together in the real world and hanging out. And I'm bored, so I decided to hop online. And I figured I might as well record it because then that gives me a little extra material for this week's episode, if nothing else. So since it's just going to be me sitting here talking for a little bit, it's Saturday night. Again, I think I'm pretty sure I already said that.
Oh, there you are. Headphones. You're,
Headphones.
you're coming through my phone speaker. This is disgusting. Let me fix this background. What on earth?
Um,
Oh my goodness. No, I don't use this enough to really play with it.
yeah,
I hate this background.
I went with it to
Oh, here we go. Yeah, much better. I mean, not that the background's better, but the blur is so stupid. So I'm sorry. I was joining when you were talking about the gym.
no problem.
So.
I was just saying I got some nice ladies that work out there, and there's a little gaggle of them, and they have like coordinating outfits and stuff. And it's funny because I refer to them as the housewives because I'm pretty sure that's
Probably what they are. Yeah.
and I'm not faulting them for that. It's just like I said, it's funny to me that they've all got like the little steel water bottles and
Oh,
the little Stanley bottles, and they're
the
all
sippy ones. I
the sippy ones, and
fucking
they got
hate
their little
those.
outfits on.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, good for you guys for being in here every day, and it's like four of them that work out with the one trainer lady, and
Oh, there
so
you
it's
go.
kind of like a class, but it's like I said, it's every day, it's every morning, and they're
Doing their thing.
yeah,
Yes. I get that. There's some mornings I was.
message me asking me if I'm doing this. I'm like, yeah, and he says, I didn't get the notice.
Who said that?
They're just a buddy of mine, my
Oh,
buddy,
oh, as I saw it like come through.
my buddy Grim,
I got you.
or actually he's one of the Patreon shout out guys every week.
Oh, cool.
El Morte.
Oh, oh, I saw him in the chat.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh, that's cool. It's funny. I see when you talk about like the gym people, I see some of them during the week because I go during the week early. So my crew is not typically the housewives, although there is a group of it's like two or three of them. Two are together, and then there's a third one who like kind of comes along and tries to play nicely with them. It's it's these old dudes. I mean, like 70 plus, like definitely old guys. Like if you saw them anywhere, you'd be like the old guys, and they look like the ones that would be sitting around the table complaining about stuff. Like the guys that go to the deli at 7:15 when the supermarket opens, like those
Yeah,
guys
those guys.
getting the fresh mutts and the mozzarella and all that the gabagool. Those dudes, and
Those guys.
they're so funny. Like a lot of times, like I'll have my AirPods in, and every once in a while I'll just click off and listen. Like I eavesdrop because I'm nosy, and they're just like blah, blah, the Giants and the blah, blah, Cowboys, and they just go on and on and on. And every once in a while, there's one guy who I used to wear Steelers hat all the time, so he would comment, and then we would chit chat about the Steelers. So I had a Steelers hat on. They're like, "Oh, did Eddie give you that hat?" And I'm like, "No,
Oh,
no,
I,
this is my hat."
I love my sports.
Yes, I'm a girl. I do like sports. So
See?
we had a conversation. I think they were impressed. I actually knew what a football was and stuff, but they're just funny. They just bitch. They just bitch. Ah, the squirrels and the leaves and they're getting up early,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's friggin' just tell you there's
Old
a
guy things.
friggin' squirrel out here crawling around the other day. The little son of a bitch. He's on my front
Yeah,
porch, and I tell you, he's sitting there. He's ripping all the stuffing out of one of my cushions. I swear to God,
they
the
are. I
motherfucker.
swear
Yeah,
to God, that's
you
it.
get
Then
those.
they bitch about their wives.
Well, yeah, that's all of us, I think.
Yeah. Most but it's just funny because like I don't chat with anybody. People like I have girlfriends that are like, oh, we'll go to the gym together. I'm like, no,
Eh,
no, I don't. No, no, because then I feel like I have to talk to you. Like I'll have to pace with them,
that
and
interferes.
that's like I don't want to. That's my time. Like it's maybe I'm selfish, but it's my time.
Now, see, I go with my buddy Nick. He's a good dude. I've known him long time at this point. We
But
went
you
to
guys like work out. Like that's you
Yeah,
work out, work
but,
out.
but
These girls are like, we'll just
we
walk on that
also
treadmill.
we also talk a lot while we're working
Oh, that's okay though.
because I lack the ability to shut up, and he's also a talker. So but we talk while we're working out because we don't want
Mm,
to the guys that are like hanging out and just tying up a machine.
right.
And and my buddy Nick, he's a good dude. But he's very like in shape.
Mm.
Back in the day, he used to be a little squishier, but and that was back when
Still,
I
it's
was less
better, but still. Yeah.
when we first met, he was a little squishier. I mean, he's still extremely strong, but I met him right after he got out of college, where he was playing football, and
Oh, yeah.
he's I mean, dude's 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in there. I think I don't know, maybe 6'5". He's a good chunk taller than me, and
Mm.
I think when I met him, he was probably 320 ish.
Oh my God.
I
It's
mean, just
big, dude.
big dude.
That's a big guy.
But now he's down to like two something, and he's very ripped.
Wow.
And
Good on him.
yeah, but so he's in there, just and then it's like I'm sitting there like this, and it's always kind of funny because like we've had people come up like hey, are you a trainer? I see you're working with the fat guy. It's like no, it's just my buddy, and
No, we're actually friends. It happens. Yeah.
we're friends. Yes, we've known each other for like 25 years.
Yeah.
How you like them apples,
I want to find a trainer. I wish I knew. Like, I see people who go to Planet Fitness who I know are trainers. Like, I see them come with different people. And to their credit, the people that they are still coming back without the trainer. But I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't,
I
I don't know if I just want a Planet Fitness trainer, but
mean, well, that's fair.
not to. I mean, they don't work for Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
They're clearly like an
independent
independent.
contractors.
The Planet Fitness trainer we have is like a really. Oh, it sounds so shitty, and I don't want to shame anybody. He does not look like he's really in shape. He's really slim. Maybe he's a runner, like, but he doesn't look.
Maybe some of those like
Yeah,
endurance types.
yeah, maybe. And like I said, I don't want to shame, but I also like I don't know.
You don't look like I should be taking advice from
Yeah,
you.
like does someone feed you? Like you don't like you eat enough.
You need a sandwich.
You should come to my house. I'll cook you something.
There you go. See,
Then we'll come back out.
negotiation. I'll make dinner. Then you show me how to do
I'll
these.
send you home with food. You show me how not to kill myself when I lift weights. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
But
really intimidated by the squat machines, like the I guess if you go to Planet Fitness, so it's like
I
was
don't.
it the Smith machine? Oh,
I
but
used
like
to
the
go to Planet.
Smith machines, they're
No,
like the where you can lift and squat and
it's got the bar on it, and it's got the
yes,
thingy. Yeah, that's
yes.
Smith.
So you can't like might not be able to kill yourself if you drop it, like
Well,
it'll
no, you
catch.
can still kill yourself. It's just a lot harder. You just got to get creative about it.
All right, I'm
But
not that creative, but I
some
don't know how to use them, and
recommend
I'm in,
though because they are safer than just
yeah.
using free barbell. So that's
Yeah, I'm
good.
intimidated by those. Those get me because I don't quite know what I'm doing. So anytime I see people on them, I watch them. Like I'm in the mirror, like just doing like dumbbells or whatever.
Yeah.
But I look through and watch behind me to the point where I think people are catching me watching them, and I'm like, oh God, I'm not looking. I swear, I'm not looking at you, but I'm watching you, but I'm not looking. Is
Yeah.
it?
I a lot of the time I just use the pin loaded machines because
Hmm.
just easier. And
Yeah.
then I don't have to, because I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to that stuff. Like,
Mm,
because the gym I go to, like, they've got like three different brands of plates scattered throughout
okay.
the gym, and they get mixed up because people just grab whatever and they move stuff around.
Mm,
And it
yeah.
drives me insane because the plates have to match. Because, yeah, they both say 45, but they don't. I mean, the fact that they don't look the same is one thing, but I mean, when they're cut in
Yeah.
different shapes, and I want them from the same brand so they're a lot more likely to be dialed in pretty close
They're
to.
like a match set. Yeah. I like match. It's like it's like eating M&Ms that are different colors. You got to eat the same colors.
Okay, see, I do that too.
Okay.
M&M's, Skittles, any of that stuff.
Ugh, yeah.
Like,
You got to eat them in
all
pairs
the
and they got to be
yellow
the same
ones,
color.
all the
Yeah.
red ones go over here. Yeah, but
I mean, I don't sort them, but if I go to grab them, I'm
I,
going to grab
I
the
don't
same
sort
colors.
them either, but I mean, like, I'll pick through them. I only say sort them because I've gotten into this habit of we have a lot of candy at my office, which is terrible for
Mm,
me. So I'm trying to
I know.
lose weight.
I
I don't
rarely eat it. Yeah.
candy jars all over the frickin' place.
Oh,
And
no.
usually like right after Halloween we get all the mini packs and
Oh, yeah.
so they got in the habit of buying all the little packs of candy even when it's not Halloween season. So because you can always get that stuff year round. And
Yeah.
so
The little ones aren't so bad, but the problem is you eat like 15 of them because you're like, oh, it's only
problem
a few.
is
And then,
I'll take like 2 packs of Skittles, and then me being me, I'll dump them into like I got a little dish I keep on my desk to like for exactly that reason, so I can pick out two of the
mm.
same color. So, so I'll dump 2 packs in there, so I'm eating twice as many. But then I can pick through and
Yeah.
match them out. Like, okay, here's a red one, there's a red one. Okay, boop. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, I won't be paying attention to what I'm doing. I'll throw like an orange and a green together at the same time, and I'm like, no, that's wrong.
Well, it's the flavors too, right? Aren't they
Yeah,
different
they
flavors?
taste
I
different.
don't like Skittles. I don't, they're chewy. I don't like chewy candies.
Or lime, like green is fun, back to lime. For a while, they changed it to green apple, which I thought was disgusting. But they changed
Ugh.
it back to lime, and so yeah, orange is orange, obvious. Red is cherry, and then they got grape. So
I saw somebody do a demon move. They said if you want to like really fuck somebody up, you do you mix up M&Ms, Reese's, and Skittles in a jar. And I'm like, well, you're a
I,
monster.
I've done
Like
it before,
that's
actually.
a oh, you
I,
monster move.
I am a monster. I'm a horrible, horrible person, but that's okay because I'm fun at parties. Um, but
But
ultimately,
as long as you don't eat them, you're good.
oh, well, yeah, I no, I always keep my own separate.
Yeah, I've got my own. I
Yeah.
don't want anybody touching my
Oh, no,
candy.
this is for other. This is like the trap candy. This is the candy I put on my desk for people that are coming in stealing my candy.
That would be the
Ask.
worst. Oh,
And the funny thing is,
ugh.
at the job I did that at,
Mhm.
word got around like don't eat the candy off of Aaron's desk. It's there because he's a dick. And yeah,
This is my dick move candy.
although you want to hear a real dick move story for candy, um,
Absolutely.
this is going way back to years and years. Um, oh, hey, L. Devlin's here too. Hey, L. Devlin. Yes, thank you. I like my mustache. It's not waxed today, but
No,
that's because I was
it's
being.
getting longer though. It's
Oh, it
getting.
is.
You'll have to.
Well, I actually put the wax in it for work
Hmm.
today because we had people coming in. So I wanted to look.
Right.
It's like it's really starting to curl up, and I'm like,
Extra, extra,
yeah,
like a villain.
yeah. I very snidely whiplash.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
executive chef, it ties in, so
yeah,
it works.
it fits. But
You guys
so
are
yeah,
genius.
dick move candy story. I did not do this either, which makes it even better.
Oh,
Um, it was, however, a cousin of mine. Um,
nice.
and to a little background information on this particular cousin, she was she's more like a little sister than like a cousin
It's
because
okay.
um, when I was a kid and I was growing up in Wisconsin, my mom's twin brother lived 2 houses down the street from us,
Oh, so you guys grew up
and
together. Okay.
so I was the oldest out of all the kids. Then my first cousin out of that part of the family was 11 months younger than me. We're all born in August. And then my my brother is 11 months younger than her. And then my next cousin is 11 months younger than him. And then we didn't have a third brother, but then there's a third girl in the other side of the family or the other set of family. So, and she's 2 years younger than her sister, so it actually would have blocked out where we're all spaced out like that. It's just weird.
That's fun.
But so the middle girl from that part of the family, my cousin, who, like I said, she grew up 2 houses down the street from us. We were always together. She was more like a little sister. So, which means she got picked on by me and my brother and
Like
tormented horribly. And I take some responsibility for how she turned out as an adult. Um,
in a good way, or you're like, oh, we're sorry.
well, she's a hard ass, and I'll take the credit for that. She don't
Okay,
take no guff,
good for her.
and she's a doctor now too. I'm actually very
Oh, there you go.
she,
Oh, so she's an asshole. Okay, good.
well, she's like she's specialized in virology or something or other, and
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
she just got her doctorate like 2 years before COVID happened. She was a keynote speaker at some conference down in New Orleans the year she got her doctorate. All this other,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Good on her.
she's really cool. I'm very proud of her. She's also a little bit psychotic, which tracks considering who she grew up around.
Yeah. Well,
We might have damaged her a little bit.
you hardened her up for her job. She did
Yeah.
good.
Oh, it was great. Like when the guy she's dating, and I mean, I don't think they're like, I don't think there's anything on paper between them, but they've been together for years and years. But it just feels weird to say her boyfriend's freaking 40 years old. It's her
I
boy.
know. Partner. It always sounds like,
Yeah. It's just,
mm,
but
no,
anyway,
her boyfriend. Yeah.
the guy she shacks up with and has animals with. Um, like the first time I met him was
Mm.
at her older sister's wedding, which was hilarious because that was like that was a whole nother thing. We actually missed the wedding, my wife and I, because
Oh,
it was up in Wisconsin and we drove there and we were running behind. We got there 6 minutes late. The ceremony was already over.
those are the best weddings,
It was
though.
amazing.
It's like wham, bam, do you, do you?
Like I got
Time
there
to
and
drink.
it was just like, what's going on? And they're like, what? I'm like, did we miss what's happening? Everybody's already eating. And my
You mean
mom,
it started already?
yeah, the ceremony's over. I'm like,
What?
okay.
I'll wait for the
I'm like,
video.
what time did it start? I mean, I know it's like 10 after 1, but what the fuck? And my mom's like, oh yeah, they
One.
started at 1:05 and they're done. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
I went to one wedding. It took longer for the bridal party to walk in than the whole damn ceremony. And I'm like, this was like, it was done. And we thought it was gonna be a big, long mass, a big Catholic, Irish Catholic wedding.
Oh,
Nope. It was great. I was just like,
I officiated a wedding like that one.
time to party.
I was
We
like,
did.
you guys sure
Oof.
about this? All right, done.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
But
in Spaceballs.
yeah, exactly. We're gonna do the short version. But yeah, so my cousin, she introduces me to her boyfriend at her
Mhm.
sister's wedding. She's like, "Oh, come here, come here. Hey, Aaron, you gotta meet my boyfriend. You haven't had he hasn't had a chance to threaten you properly yet." And I was like, "Oh, okay, bring him over."
Drink.
Yeah, no, that's we had an old fashioned bar at the wedding, so I'm sitting there with an
Nice.
old fashioned in my hand, like, "Hey, how you doing? So you're dating my cousin here, right?" Now, she doesn't need me to handle her business and she doesn't need me to take care of any of her problems, but I want you to be aware of this. You make her cry, I'm gonna make you cry.
There you
Murder for real, they'll never find your fucking body.
go.
Have a good time at the wedding. And I
Nice
walk,
to meet you.
and apparently he kind of was like chuckled or something. And
Mhm.
I hear my cousin as I'm walking, like, he's completely fucking serious. He'll kill you. I'm like, that's my girl. Good job. But okay,
Mic drop.
yeah, pretty much. And so she, years and years back, she was before she went back to school to get her doctorate. She was working at a facility, and I have to crop this a little bit just for multiple reasons. I was
Mm.
not given any specific details of any of the individual patients that were there, but she was working at a facility that was basically a crazy hatch, like it was a
Mm.
mental facility
Yeah, those are rough.
or like teenage offenders, like
Oh, yeah.
on a court order. They,
Oh,
they were all a little crazy
yeah.
and a little dangerous, which
Yeah, and full of hormones. Yeah.
full of
So,
hormones on top of that too.
mm-hmm.
So she was, and for a while, she got my kid brother a job there when he was after he got out of the service.
Oh,
He was like an orderly because he was an EMT and all this other stuff. He had
oh, Good fit. Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we need an orderly," and he was like, "I need a job. This works." So and my brother was she would tell us stories about her crazies, and that's how she referred to them was her crazies.
Yeah. My mom did too. My mom worked in with mental health
Oh, so
services for years. So
yeah,
yeah,
you can get some of those interesting stories out of it.
stories. Hmm.
And so yeah, she had her crazies, and she right around the time the Harry Potter Jelly Bellies came out.
Hmm.
Yeah, so apparently she bought like 5 pounds of those, and then like 5 pounds of regular Jelly Bellies, and mixed them all into a great big bowl. Left them on her
Oh.
desk because the kids weren't supposed to be helping themselves to the candy that was in the nurse's station. And so she's like, "Yeah, there's nothing quite as funny as watching a kid that's not sure if he actually just ate something that tasted like dirt or if he's actually having an episode." Fucking evil.
Earwax? Yeah. Hmm.
I love it. I was very
That's
proud of her at that point.
so not only did she mix horrible candy, she did it to mentally ill kids.
She
Nice. Okay.
fed horrible
Yeah,
candy.
she's twisted. She wins.
Yeah, and
Wins
and
this one.
and like I said, and that's the thing that really kills me. She put like 10 pounds of these jelly beans,
Oh, ugh.
right? I mean, like I said, it was 5 pounds of good ones, so you weren't always guaranteed to
No,
get a funky one. That was the devious part of it because
because they look the same.
they kept coming back. Like, oh well, here I'll take another chance to steal some more
Yep.
candy that I'm not supposed to be having.
It's a joke now.
And,
Yeah.
and yeah, so yeah, she just
The only bummer is no camera on that. You know, kids will be like, "Whoa,"
that would
like
have
a
been funny
vomit flavored
to
one.
have some records of that. I would have shared it for a giggle.
That would have been, yeah, that's mean shit.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Don't steal shit that don't belong to you.
exactly. Don't take the shit you were told not to take.
Oh, it is a big tempt, though.
Don't going
10
in.
pounds of jelly beans is a big, big container.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she might have broken it up over the into. I wasn't there for the actual dispensing of the candy, but
Mm.
she told me how much she bought when she was telling me the story. So, because that was one of those things in Wisconsin where we live. There's the Jelly Belly factory. Is that
Oh, I didn't know
so?
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can buy in bulk direct from the manufacturer, and you can take a tour. Actually, they have a store attached to the factory.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's great. I when
Oh
we
my
were
God, it must smell like just so sweet in there. It's just like, whoa.
oh, it smells like diabetes. So they do like a little tour around there. You get on this little train and you ride through the thing, and it's
Really? I envisioned like Austin Powers, like just driving through on the little
it's a
cart.
little tram with a bunch of carts behind it, and they pull it through the factory, and you go up and down the aisles, and you go past the machines as they're
Oh my God, that's a riot. That
and
would be fun.
yeah, and it's free, and because they get you how they get you is
The
the
gift
exit
shop at the end.
gift shop,
Yep.
and yeah, like I took my kid there when we were living in Wisconsin, and for a free tour, I think I wound up spending like $60 or $70
Yep.
before we left.
Yep.
And like, he picked out some jelly bellies, like they had all the individual flavors, so he got to mix of a bag of stuff he liked. But then they also Jelly Belly also makes a whole bunch of other candy,
Mm.
like gummy sharks and
Oh
sea.
yeah, you get the little plastic bags. Next thing you know, it's
Mhm.
$35 of
Oh yeah,
candy.
they had or like a sweet and sour kind of. They were like X's and O's, like for leftover Valentine's Day candy
Oh, cute. Okay.
that were on clearance because it was like March. And
Uh-huh.
and so they were like 5 pound bags for like $3.
Oh, here you go.
I
That's the
bought
stuff
ten
you gotta
pounds
get.
of these freaking gummy hearts and gummy X's and O's because I like sweet and sour cherry candy. And yeah, that might be why I'm diabetic now. I don't know. They might. I'm not saying correlation and causation are a thing, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah, that could have helped. That could have
yeah,
led
I'm
you
sure
down
that
that
could have been a
path.
contributing factor. But that was also before I got fat, so I felt about myself, going like, "Hey, I saved
I
a whole
can have candy.
and ate a bunch of candy."
There you go. We did that where I brought well, we're not far from New York. I'm in Jersey. So we would go up to like when FAO Schwartz was in its original location. We would go and, one of the touristy things, the kids, we would always walk through FAO Schwartz and look at like the crazy expensive, like it was before like the internet and Amazon and stuff. It was really, you could only go to like KB Toys or Toys R Us. And
Yeah.
that was it, or like whatever the drugstores had. So if you got something from FAO Schwartz, like someone liked you, because that shit's expensive. And so we would go through it all the time, and the kids would see. I remember my dad was like, "I'll buy you something." And I was like, "I want that." And it was like this $600 like horse. My mother was like, "No, no, we're not doing that."
No, you're
So
no kid.
yeah, no, no, something like
Here's
under
a broom
20.
handle with
Yeah,
a head on it. There you go.
yeah, you can get like some little stuffy like that. So we would go in, and my girls went through and they loved it. And at one point, I had brought my younger daughter's Girl Scout troop, but they were like 15. So they were older, and we did some touristy stuff, and we went to FAO Schwartz, and we toured around. They bought Legos and all kinds of cool stuff. And then on the way out, they have a whole section downstairs, which was all, you can shop your own candy at FAO Schwartz. It was 19.99 a pound,
Jesus.
which
That
I think is a
that's
little insane, And clear, you're in New York,
that's a lot
but
insane. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's
it is
horrible, but
absolutely.
still.
And I had seen one scale where it was like four something pounds, and it broke down the weight, like the cost of it. And I remember the kids were walking by like, how much did they spend on candy? Like they couldn't, it was like, what, 100 bucks, like it was a
Yeah,
ridiculous amount of money, and they could not get past how
that
much it was. But of course it's all gummy shit. It's all stuff they could have bought anywhere.
yeah.
But we're in FAO Schwartz. They had to buy it here, so,
We
but it was
we
all
had a
junky candy.
that in the mall that
Hmm. Oh
just
yeah, all those
we didn't
awful sweet shops. Yeah.
have anything really fancy where I grew up, but it did have the one place, and it was like the little like discs that tasted like communion wafer with the sprinkles inside of them, and
The only ones I can think of are like the
all
Necco
the assorted
wafers.
what you call the Brock's, all the
Pop
Brock
Rocks?
candy.
Pop Rocks. The ones that crackled in your mouth?
Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry.
These were like they called them flying saucers or something.
Oh,
They were
okay.
little different colors, but like they were like the the outer shell of them, like I said, tasted like a communion wafer. And
Sounds delicious.
yeah, no, but then the sweets inside was filled with sugar sprinkles. I mean, just
Oh, okay.
it
Oh,
was
I
like
got it. So it
it
was like
dissolved
a,
in your mouth, and then your mouth was full of sugar. So,
I
and then, but
wonder
those
we're
were
all like
super
fucked up at
popular.
this point. It's
And
ridiculous.
but yeah, just ridiculous. But it was, yeah, same deal. You get your plastic bag, you scoop out what you wanted.
Hmm.
You're a scumbag like me, you'd eat stuff when nobody was looking.
Hmm.
I
Well,
mean,
that's why they charge $19 a pound
well, yeah. I mean, I'm not
to
saying,
account for the loss.
yeah, shrinkage. Yeah,
You
more than
weigh
just
each
what
kid
happened.
on their way out, like how much, you little fucker.
Now, me, my personal favorite was they had they were like nougat jellies or something like that. I can't think of what they're called. There's like a white
Mm.
brick with little rainbow colored jellies in it. That was always my favorite out of the scoop your own candy things.
Huh. Oh,
Um,
I don't
that,
think I've ever had those.
that was a Brock's thing. That might just be a Midwest candy. I don't know.
It might be.
I've never really heard anybody else go, yeah, I love those too. It's always just been me. And nobody else in my family liked them, so I just get like ugh, like,
Well, I've already given to you, like, oh, we don't want these. And you're like,
oh yeah,
yes,
it's like,
you mean
yes,
the trash candy. Yeah.
Aaron wants the trash candy. And like they also made one that was like a Neapolitan bar. It was like
Okay.
three colors, little, and it was like coconut, and then
Oh.
some chocolate crap, and then because the coconut was the white part, and
Hmm.
then there was the pink part was like some like kind of like a fudgy kind of thing. And my those were my kid brother's favorite. He would eat those like Neapolitan coconut dream or something. There's some other retarded name for them.
Isn't it funny how like talking about like candy, it just brings you back to like
It's
just
nostalgia.
weird fun memories. I mean, we would eat that crap. My mom, we had candy all over the house. My mother used to buy, God, they're probably like, they're like these smooth chocolate, not chocolate, they were chocolate, but they were flavored like mints though. And they almost look like what you would put to melt them for like to dip chocolate in them, but it was smooth.
Actually,
And the
I
one,
know I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking
they
about.
come in all different colors. And my
Yeah,
mother would always buy the mint one, like the green ones. It had looked like the top had like it was like piped out, so it was like a little, and it was flat like a disc. Oh, it's so good. I
yeah,
used
I
to
know, I
eat the
know, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Isn't that funny? Like I haven't thought of them in years, and now it's just triggered. I'm like, oh,
Actually, that reminds me of the ones my grandma used to always get. Were like Um, God, what's the closest thing? Okay, you know, snow caps.
Yeah.
They were like that,
Ooh.
only they were a green, like minty
Yeah. I know what those are too. They're like minty snow caps, I guess. Yeah.
snow caps. I don't know what else, but yeah,
I know exactly what they are. Or
snow
the
caps.
no, I think they were called snow caps. I used to buy them at the movies.
Yeah,
They would come in like the
that's what I was
box,
thinking.
like
The box that says snow caps, but those
yeah,
are
and all the little white caps would always come up. Eat like handfuls of them.
all the little white pellets.
Yeah, those
And
little styrofoam pellets on this.
if you're an ass, you can just kind of shake those down between the seats so they'd roll down the floor. And
Yeah. Oh, we used to throw it. We were bad.
yeah, no,
Well, once I got a little older, I
I,
realized I could
I would
cause
never
a ruckus.
do something like that. That would be horrible. And
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that at all. I was kind of a turd when I got older. I was like, I was that obnoxious kid where I would just like peen a few things around, like not too much, but just enough to like get somebody to react, and then I would stop doing it. But
I would usually wait till somebody was being kind of obnoxious and then
chuck
start
it at him.
it. You know what? Shut up. Shut the
I think I probably threw it at boys.
Yeah, no,
I think that tracks. Really,
heard anybody that was irritating me. So
I
that
probably threw it
also
at
tracks.
boys I thought were cute.
I didn't really think too many of the boys I went to the movies with were cute. So it's
There you go. Well, I never went with boys, so it was like me and my girlfriends were always like, "Yee." Just, yeah, we were that.
I
We were that
I,
annoying
I,
gaggle of
I
girls.
usually it was usually just me and the boys.
Mm.
At least until we got older, and then it was like double dating and stuff, and then I'd be like,
Yeah, once you drove, it was different, I think.
then I'd be fifth wheeling it up. Like I still want to go see this movie. I don't give a shit if you guys are bringing dates or not. I'm going.
I'll sit in front of you. I just don't want to watch you.
I'm like just sit where I don't have to see you two playing grab ass. That's all I ask. I'm fine sitting by myself in the movie theater. I
That's
don't
right.
care.
I
Although
ended up
I
at the
did, I
movies
did get
solo.
plugged at the Titanic, so
Ah,
oh, it was horrible.
that's a long movie. My
Yeah, well,
girlfriend and I cried through that, but I was just like, I mean, I knew how it ended, but it was still like it got me.
I knew how it ended, so I was just kind of like, come on, and it,
Just
it was kind
die
of
already.
I was kind of like I can't say the fifth wheel because there were like seven of us, but
Hmm.
um or no, there was an even number of us, but it was like my buddy and his girlfriend and another guy and his girlfriend and then another guy and his girlfriend and her sister. And
Oh,
so I was like sitting next to the sister in the theater.
oh, it's always fun. Here, two strangers sit next to each other. Have fun.
She wasn't like a stranger. I knew her. Just
Oh, okay, at
I
least.
wasn't like, hey, I guess this is a date. I was just more like, oh, hey, you're her sister. How you doing?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and we're watching the movie and just watching the movie and watching the movie. It's long and it's dry
Oh, it's so long.
and it's dry. And I'm like, come on, we know what happens. Sink the fucking boat, but I'm trying to be nice because I'm there with all my friends and I don't want to make a scene. And then there's the
No.
boat starts to sink, and I'm kind of like, finally. But then there's that part in the scene where the guy falls off the back of the boat and he hits the propeller.
Yeah.
And I laughed so damn hard when that happened. I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't help it. I just everything broke at that point. I'm laughing, and then it shows people like
Because what do you
sliding down
do?
the deck of the
Yeah.
boat, and I'm just like, oh, splinter, ow, fuck, oh, shit, fuck. All of a sudden,
Shit, I do too.
this
I'm the
girl
worst.
sitting next to me hauls off and pops me for being an insensitive asshole. I'm like,
It's a pretend. These are pretend people.
these are not real people. Everybody lived, I promise. Well, except maybe that guy. And
Off the propeller.
like, yep,
You're not surviving if you hit a propeller, but I promise you that CGI guy's okay.
the CGI guy made it through okay, I promise.
That
But
was a long ass movie.
yeah, well, it was
Oh my
especially a
God.
long ass movie to be sitting there with like a whole row full of people that are all,
Not paying attention to the movie.
they're not paying attention to the movie, and then there's the like one emotional girl, and then me. I'm not the one you
Can we
put
go to that together?
the girl next to,
I was that emotional girl. I cried through the whole stupid movie. I cried everything. I can't, I hate going to movies sometimes. I'm like, my daughter's like, did you watch this? I'm like, no, it's sad. She's like, but you should watch it. It's good. I'm like, no, I don't. Look, I'm at the point now. I want to laugh. I just want to laugh at movies. I want to laugh my way through the day. If I have to think too hard or it's going to make me cry, which I will guarantee you most movies make me cry at this point. I'm like one of those, like, I can't even see commercials like with dogs or soldier. I'm like done, like off. I guess that's my only like
Yeah, I
release
was
of
saying
like
that. I'm
stress is I cry, which
with
I
the
fucking
dogs.
hate.
I'll get sensitive about. I'll get bent out of shape over somebody's pets in a heartbeat. But
Oh yeah, I can't watch
on the
the
other hand,
guy falls into a propeller. Ah,
I
fuck
fall
him.
off a propeller. I'm gonna laugh. I mean, yeah, bus full of
He
nuns
deserves
drive
it.
off a cliff. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
some smart ass comment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tragedy. No, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I still have PTSD with when it comes to nuns. I can't go to the penguin enclosure at the zoo. I get nervous.
They're so cute, the little penguins. So I guess does the Blues Brothers set you off when the
Oh,
penguin?
no, the Blues Brothers happened to me. I see.
The
Actually,
penguin
yeah. Well,
just floated.
back in the day, because Jason and I went to Catholic school together when we were
That's
kids.
right. You guys trauma bonded.
Yeah, and we did not have a lot of nuns. We had like a nun.
Oh no.
You know.
It was like the nun of the school,
Yeah,
the
basically,
one nun.
we had like one nun and a bunch of teachers. And I don't remember exactly how it wound up happening, like the setup to the situation, but I found out this particular nun had a like you remember the old school cordless phones where they had the antenna, like the
Yes.
antenna in them? Well,
Yeah.
you
Oh
know,
yeah, they
those-
extended like that long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she carried one of those inside the sleeve of her nun outfit, or in her pocket or something. I'm not sure where it came from, but I
The
didn't.
big pocket.
We were
Thing's fucking
we were
huge.
hanging out on the playground during recess one day playing football, and the guy that had the quarterback threw the ball, and he threw it to me, and it came up through like foot and a half short, and I did not realize his sister was standing behind me, and I went, Jesus Christ, damn ball, Susan, and proceeded to get
You
whacked
died.
right in the back of the neck. And you'd think hitting something my size would like bend the antenna. Oh no.
Nope.
Like because she was good, she hit just enough to sting, and I, what the fuck? And I start turning around, whap whap, and I'm like, fuck, shit. Oh, hi sister, go stand against the wall. So I spent the rest of the recess standing against the wall.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't grow up Catholic. I'm not Catholic. I grew up Lutheran,
yeah,
I guess Catholic light, and I never had to deal with that type of thing. We just it was our pastor, and who they were married, so
yeah.
there's a whole story about that. But um, our youth group was terrible. We were not a nice church group. We would go and we would terrorize other church groups. We got
Yeah,
asked to leave. We got asked to not come back to one of them. But
that's
we were the group that we'd show up with like shaving cream and water balloons, and we would chase the other kids. And we were those like the gang from New Jersey. We would cause all kinds of
I
ruckus.
showed up with ammonia inhaling tablets one time.
Oh my
Took him out of the first aid kit at the school.
God, these look like fun. Let's bring them.
Yeah. I was like, oh, these are in case people pass out. We should have these in case someone passes out on the field trip. You
From
crush them and roll them down the aisle on the bus, and all of a sudden everybody's getting nauseous.
everybody's like, ugh.
Yeah, it was a good
Oh,
time.
that's fantastic.
But yeah, no. Ironically enough, I was actually my parents were Lutheran, so I've been baptized like 6 times. um,
Any reason, or like were you ill as a baby? Like so they kept
no,
baptizing you just in
no, I
case,
got
or
baptized Lutheran when I was a baby.
okay,
When I started going to Catholic school, I got rebaptized because we
okay.
switched gears. Because the whole reason I went to Catholic school is because it was one of the better schools in the city at that point. My parents wanted me to have a good education. Like,
Look at you now.
yeah,
Wow.
look at me now. I used to get in so much trouble at that
Hmm.
school because I like theoretically I used to be gifted, like like a lot. Like they put me in the accelerated learning programs and all that stuff.
That's
But
awesome, actually.
the backside of that is I had a real problem with like paying attention
Authority. Yeah.
or listening or doing what I was told or like I failed every religion class I was ever in because I was argumentative and I was not willing to just go, you know what, you're right, yay Jeebus. Um,
That's shocking to hear.
yeah,
Like you were argumentative and
oh,
you disagreed with
I
people.
Oh yeah, I was
Wow.
very voracious reader, like I was reading multiple books a day. And at one
Yeah.
point when they started really leaning it hard into the religion classes, I started reading like every other religious text I could get my hands on. Like Tibetan stuff, Buddhist stuff. I I
Oh my God.
I
To
read.
prove to counterpoint,
Oh
like
yeah, so I could have legitimate
your shit.
arguments with them. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like you're basically just biting off the teachings of the Buddha and da 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 da,
Did you
going back
know?
and
And
forth.
this,
Did you know based on timetables alone, and I read the Quran,
yeah.
I read four different versions of the Bible in the 8 years I was at that school, just because, like, well, no, see, if you're using this version, it says this, but if you're using that version, it says that. Now,
Hmm.
what makes you 110% sure that the version you got is the actual right version? Because yeah, you got to remember every single person who's translated this, because none of us read ancient Aramaic, which is what Jesus
Exactly.
spoke. So this is a 2,000-year-old game of telephone. So how exactly confident are you? I can't get the guy on the other side of the classroom to repeat what I said if I start the message. And you're telling me that this is God's direct quote
Yeah. From
2,000
back.
years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time in the principal's office. I technically still owe that school like three detentions that I was not
I'm
supposed to
I'm not
serve.
surprised.
They were like, "We're gonna let you graduate, but you got to come back for summer detention." And I, yeah, right on, buddy. Here
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
come. Kiss my ass.
Yeah. I'll sign that IOU. Sure.
And
Yeah. Okay.
but
So
then
I'm gonna give you your graduation papers, but make sure you come back.
yeah,
Okay.
well, it was like
Hand to God.
they kind of had to, because there was really no policy in place for somebody that owed the school like an extra 25 detentions. So,
I think you might be the person that the policy was created after.
oh yeah,
It's your picture next to
I have a track record of doing shit that has caused school policies to change. I mean, regrettably, and it sounds like I'm trying to just like, oh no, look how edgy and weird I. No, I'm being completely serious. I have done things that my high school had to change school policy 3 years in a row. I caught shit because they had to reprint the student handbook 3 years in a row to add in pages because of things I was directly involved in or
Yep.
accused of being involved in, because they couldn't actually prove I was involved in them.
Right. Well, it didn't say I couldn't do it. There's
Exactly.
nothing that's specific. Yeah, you're a splitting hairs kind of guy. Yeah,
I was,
that, but you know what it is? That's someone who is incredibly bright and bored
well, that was,
and bored.
yeah, the board was the key factor. I,
If they
I,
had if they had proper classes, they could have challenged you
oh,
and kept you out of all that trouble. Well, some
I was,
trouble,
I was in all
a
the
little less trouble.
AP classes.
Yeah.
I really was.
But that doesn't mean anything.
I
I
was
know
a
AP kid
nightmare.
classes who are bored. My daughter was in AP math in senior year, and a bunch of kids in her class didn't understand it. So I came home from work one day, and there was 8 girls sitting in my living room, and my daughter's teaching them calc
Yeah,
because the teacher wasn't doing it.
that.
I'm like, are you kidding? Like that's the shit that happens in my house. So I'm like,
I can see that.
she would correct her teachers. She would correct her math teachers,
Yeah,
especially.
that
They
is
would write a problem on the board and she'd be like, that's wrong.
that's
And he's
wrong.
like, no, it's not. She goes, it's wrong.
I
That's
used to
this,
do
this,
that.
that. And he looked at it and went, I was like, you're gonna get
I caught
detention.
I
She's like,
caught
I don't care, it was wrong.
that. It was wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It was wrong.
Yeah. No, she was a she's a stick to the there's black and white. There's no right, there's no gray with that
If
one. My
there's
older one.
there's wrong.
Yeah. It's wrong. He was wrong. And she's like, he was wrong. And I'm like,
If
like
he's
he's
wrong,
gonna pass fail you. But she's like, he was wrong. I'm like,
wrong.
okay.
I can completely
Yeah.
sympathize with that. I
Yeah.
get it. I'm I am
At
that.
high school, I stopped busting her balls. I'm
I
like, whatever. They're gonna send you to detention because you corrected a
Yeah,
teacher. He maybe should have been right.
yeah.
That would have been
I
my argument.
I that's another thing. We had like the college bowl type stuff.
Hmm.
When we were at the Catholic school, they used to do that stuff. They'd have like the A class, or one class versus the other class. So we usually had two classes for each grade, and each homeroom class would put forward a team. And
Right.
I would I was on the team every year except for seventh grade. Seventh grade, I was sick during the tryouts, so I
Ah,
couldn't make the
okay.
team. So to be an obstinate little shit, I sat in the front row and yelled the answers out to every question as they were read.
You're such a dick. I can't believe they let you stay.
Oh yeah, no, they actually asked, but they were like, Aaron, if you do not stop yelling the answers out, you're gonna have to leave. And I was like, I should be up there. I'm smarter than all of you people. But to get even, the other thing was the class assignments were like which students went to which class were set up by the vice principal. She was also one of the eighth grade homeroom teachers. Oddly enough, she had like a 10-year run of her homeroom winning the academic challenge every year because she had all the smart kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Uh-oh.
she also did not like me. So I was not in her homeroom. I got put in the other class.
I guess someone's era had ended.
Yeah. And so it was kind of funny because we were not supposed to win. Everybody on the team knew we weren't supposed to. They were just like, this is bullshit. I can't believe I'm having to do this on a Friday night.
Hmm.
Dumb. I
You're
don't want
like,
to be on the team,
give me
but
the next question.
my parents are proud of us, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys sit there, shut up. This and proceeded to basically run the board. Like somebody out there still has a tape of this because somebody I
Oh
don't
my God, you got to dig that up.
like literally ran the board on the other classroom where it was just like bant, 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 bant. I got like two questions wrong, I think. And it was one of the guys that was on the other team literally when the match was over and we're like, all right, hey, good job, guys. And we were like, all the parents are milling around talking after
Hmm.
the thing. And like my aunt, God bless my aunt. I loved her. She was there and she's she was always very supportive of Aaron. And she's my godmother too. And
Oh,
she was just
there you
like,
go.
go Aaron. I can't believe you
Kick their ass.
slaughtered those guys. Jesus, that's pathetic. Were they even trying?
Oh my
And
God.
I'm like, and like one of the guys, one of my best friends was on
Tried.
the team, and they were like, he's just like, man, yeah, that was wrong.
Your hand's
And then
cold, man.
the one kid was just like, literally, I was just like, dude, you shouldn't have been such a prick about telling everybody you were going to kick our asses. I was like, I might have let you answer some questions if you guys wouldn't have been so asinine about this. And he's just, fuck you, Aaron. I'm like, well, hey, there's always the traveling team.
That's right. The traveling team.
Well,
Did
they
you ever
did
see
do
the
it.
Big Bang episode with that? I don't know if you ever watched the Big Bang.
Oh yes, I've seen pretty much
There
all.
was that
So,
one episode where Sheldon just created his own team and answered every question and just like put like the janitor and like whatever.
yep,
And then, yeah, so
that was.
that's reminding me of you just answering
Well,
every
that's
question.
kind of how it was, except for I was not that smart, but I was much more obnoxious. So I
Yeah.
offset.
Well,
But yeah, and like I said, I got school policy changed. Like uh, I had a teacher who my senior year I took an accounting class because
mhm.
just like
Why not?
I could have graduated early because all my AP classes being double credit courses and
Hmm.
the fact that I took like 9 of them.
All of them.
I took AP calculus,
Ugh.
I took AP physics, I took AP chemistry, I took AP English, I took anatomy and physiology,
So pretty much any AP. So
pretty much
you're,
anything I
yeah.
could get into. And I was very like amotivational. Like I'd sneak off during lunch and go smoke a joint and come back all like I didn't try at all and I passed everything because unfortunately that turned me into a really just like entitled lazy prick for a while because I was just like I don't have to work. I pass everything. It's just
Yeah.
trying.
Then the real world, then you're like, well,
Yeah,
wait
then
a
the
minute.
real world came along and slapped me in
Like,
the oh no.
whoa,
This
reality sucks a
sucks.
little.
But my so I took this accounting class and the teacher the first day of class he was like I'm gonna run this like a college like you could tell he didn't want to be a high school teacher.
Yeah.
Just try,
Demoted.
this is how I run my class. Here's your syllabus. Read your syllabus. Here's your coursework. Read your coursework. These are the timelines where I expect this work to be done. And I looked at it and I skimmed through the entire syllabus and like this counts. This is how this is weighted towards your grade. Daily work this much. Computer work this much.
Hmm.
Midterm final. And I'm like,
Got it.
Can I turn in my work early? He says, well, you can work at your own pace as long as you meet the benchmarks. Bet, gotcha. This was also my
Okay.
first period class, which
Oh my
factors
God.
into how I treated this thing. And it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class because we had A days and B days. So,
Okay.
my next time I had that class was Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I came in with the entire semester's worth of work
You're
done.
such a dick.
It was like, we had to balance sheets and all the accounting
Love it.
workbooks and all this other. So I come in, I put all the workbooks on his desk, and I handed him my computer disk that had all the computer book work done on it.
Oh, computer
I,
desk. How
I said,
cute. Yeah.
I'll see you at midterms. And he said, what? I said, well, on that syllabus you handed us on Monday, you said everything had to be done by these benchmarks. Everything is done. You
Hmm.
said that everything could be turned in early if I worked at my own pace. My own pace is I'm finished with this crap.
Yeah.
I will see you at midterms. There's nothing on the syllabus about attendance counting towards my grade.
Oh my God.
And he was like, you have to come to school. I said, do I
Well, I'll be in
though?
school.
I'll
I
be
won't
in
be here.
school. And so he immediately told everybody to get back to work on their workbooks and dragged me down to the dean's office. I saw this coming, so I had a copy of the syllabus he handed us on Monday in my pocket.
Of course you did.
Got dragged in there. Aaron, what are you doing here?
Again.
I apparently exploited a loophole, and I told this guy I will see him at midterm. I'm not coming in at 7:30 in the morning to do accounting. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Here, read this syllabus." On the first day of class, he handed this to us and said, "We are responsible for us achieving these assignments in the timetable
Hmm.
prescribed. It exactly lays out 100% of my grade as dictated by these metrics. Attendance is nowhere on those metrics. I have finished all of the work. I will not be coming to class in the morning. I'm going to take a nap, sleep in a little bit, and I'll be here for second period."
Did your school have an attendance policy?
Yes, they did, but we'll come to that next.
Oh, okay. I'm getting ahead of the game.
So
Sorry.
he looks at it and he goes, "Well, you still have to come to school, but you're right. There's nothing on here about attendance counting towards your grade. It looks like he's got you on that one." And
Oh, shit.
and I said, "Yeah, I'm also. I just want you to be aware that I will be calling myself in every morning because I was 18 before the school year started.
Oh, God.
My
Yeah.
birthday was literally like 3 days before school started. So I had my mom when I
That's right, because
was
you're
little
August baby.
decided to
Yep.
either be
Hmm.
the youngest kid in the class or the oldest kid in the class. She said, "Let's make him the oldest kid in the class. He's not mature enough to be the youngest kid in the class." She was right. Um,
I'd say that was a good call by mom.
yeah. So, but the backside of that was my senior year. I was 18. So the first day of school, I went into the office, filled out a form that said, "Look, here's my driver's license showing I'm a legal adult.
Yeah.
Here's the contact information card change. Here's my emergency contact. Is still my mom. But in the event of an attendance issue, you will call this phone number, not that phone number," because I had my own phone at home, which, for us Gen Xers was kind of a big deal.
Huge. Thank you.
But
Yes.
the reason I had my own phone was because I had a computer and I got the phone line for the modem, and that's how I convinced my
Ah.
let me have the phone line because I paid for it because I had a job, I had the money,
Mm-hmm.
and I negotiated with my parents to get my own phone line as long as I paid the bill,
Nice.
and I actually leveraged that one too. Where I was like, look, you can either let me get my own phone line now, or we can wait till my birthday when I'm an illegal adult and can sign the contract myself. My mom was just like, as long as you aren't up all night on school nights.
God bless your mother.
And well, she knew it was pointless to fight me.
Okay. There
He,
are certain things I'll just bend on. It's fine.
he picked her battles. I mean, the important ones she put her foot down, but something stupid like that, I was like, no, you can't have your computer. Fine, I'm going to stay up till 3 in the morning reading. Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I know. I was that kid. I stayed up all late
Yeah,
nights
I
reading.
would stay up all night reading a book, and
Hmm.
and I was,
I used to sit by my nightlight
see, yeah,
because
that
I
would have
would,
been a good idea too.
because I didn't have a
I just
flashlight and
ruined
stuff.
my eyes.
Yeah. Oh, hello, classes. But I would sit literally by the nightlight reading a book. And if I hear it coming, of course, like, because I'm quiet, I'd be like, down, across the room and dive into bed, you
Yeah,
know. But I mean, how do you get, I used to, you can't get mad at your kids. They're reading. Like,
you can't be mad that they're reading.
I know. Well, maybe at like midnight.
Well,
one in the
that's the thing
morning, we
too.
could be a little mad. But
I never slept either when I was a kid.
uh,
I'm starting to make up for it now. I really appreciate a nap now.
no, I know.
But when I
It's
when
like you
I
get
was
away with something. It's
when I was
so
little,
awesome.
I never I
You
three.
probably never stopped as a kid.
Oh no, I didn't.
Nope.
From and
Your mother probably needed a nap very badly.
yes. Oh,
Think
we
of how
had
terrible you
a
were by not
conversation.
letting her have one.
She like basically all my pictures from the time I'm like I don't know, maybe a year old to like 4. Every
The
picture
back.
my parents have of me is like face down in a plate of food. Apparently, I can sleep. I can breathe through food. 'Cause it was like that was the only time I would stop is they would put me in my high chair and like strap me in, and then I would go to sleep because I'd be like
No, yep.
fall out.
Yep.
And like I said, my parents, in typical Gen X parents fashion, like, hey, look, he's face down in a plate of spaghetti.
Let's take pictures.
Probably pick him up, but first get the camera. So
We like meat. What was it, meat and Porky's? Like he was in the bar and passed out, and they had to like lift his head up, and he's
yeah,
like
pretty much.
beans or something stuck to his face, and they
Yeah,
just back down.
yeah, right.
Yeah, my youngest was a move. Did not
Birthday
stop
cake, all
moving.
that stuff.
Yeah,
And
my youngest. I had to when we as soon as we put her in the car and drive, she would zone out. And I remember driving home from the park, and she would wake up when we would get home. That was the problem. So it was like it was only like 5 minutes. So I'm like brake checking her. She's like this. I'm like, don't fall
yeah.
asleep. Don't fall asleep.
Oh,
It's just so shitty. I feel really bad. Poor kid. But she would sleep. She'd like be that kid that would like fold over in half and sleep. Like she could bend like I
just pretzel
if
it
I
up.
did that, I'd be on neck brace. Like I don't know how little ones are just so bendy. They can just
They're rubbery.
yeah, they're super bendy and it's annoying as shit. Because now if like I sleep funny, I'm like, oh my
Yeah, I
neck,
was
and
gonna say
I'm ruined.
if I sleep wrong, I'm hobbling for 3 days.
Like I sneezed. Oh, my neck. Yeah.
Right? Oh, my lower back.
I'm still recovering from the boxing thing
Oh,
and my forearms. I have bursitis. Like I think I punched myself into some bursitis in my elbow. I'm like, oh, it hurts so much.
yeah, my that's what I'm not from punching, but I'm telling my wife that I think that might be an issue she's having, and I'm, babe, because she's been complaining about her elbow and her arm for like 2 weeks now.
Mm,
I'm like, go to the fucking doctor.
I
That's why
know.
I have insurance.
I
But
know.
I
It's
think
that
it's
whole like, meh.
whatever
I
I
like
classes
Googled it.
just been repetitive motion, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'll do
I
it.
didn't even really do anything. I'm like, you're moving your arm back and forth over and over and over again. And
Hmm.
that's all it takes. We're fucking
Yeah.
old.
It sucks. I don't it's weird because it's maybe it's that Gen X thing or just it's the refusal. Like in my brain, I'm like, I got this. And then I get up and I go do something. I'm like, oh, I don't have this like I thought I did. And
In
it's
my head, I'm
super awful.
22, so it's
Yeah. I am too. And then I look at photos and I'm like, fuck, I am so not 22. It's
yeah. Well, that's
like,
one of those
God
things. Like
damn.
until I let the facial hair come out, I can actually be in denial more because my eyebrows are still dark, and
Hmm.
you know, there's nothing.
Hey, I'm whatever color I want to be every 6 weeks, so it works.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. I did that
That's my prerogative.
there
The
too.
eyebrows are still hanging in there though, so I'm very pleased about that.
There you go. Yeah,
It's the little things.
like I said, as long as it's I got the and this side seems to be darker than that side, which is just
That's
irritating the shit.
interesting. It's
Little
distinguished. So
symmetry.
you could always get the little like those little brushes they have if you wanted to color
I'm
it.
going to maintain my dignity, and I don't need that. Although for a while I was doing like the full beard, a little while,
Hmm.
just mostly for shits and giggles. It was
Right.
for multiple reasons. I was out of razors, is what actually prompted the whole thing. I was like,
Fuck it.
I don't have any razors. I don't fuck it. I don't care. I went like, and it started growing in, and I was like, this is really funny because I had like the last time I had facial hair, I just had like white stripes right here,
Oh,
and
like a
not
handlebars
gray,
kind of
but
thing.
jet white.
Oh wow.
Like my dad is very fair haired. He's like platinum blonde,
Oh wow. Okay.
and I'm not. I got my mom's pigmentation from the side of things. So dark hair. Uh, I got the weird hazel eyes because like my dad and my kid brother like crystal blue eyes. They're all
Hmm.
you know.
I got hazel from my mom. Well, actually, my mom's blue. My dad's brown. I'm hazel.
See, I got hazel eyes too.
Yeah.
because
My
Dad
grandmother's Hazel.
proud. So
Yeah.
and
You know
I'll
what's weird is I'm Hazel, my husband's Hazel, and my two girls are Hazel. We're
oh
all Hazel eyes.
I'm
So
a
my
team.
brother's brown. So
Yeah, but
he's a mess anyway.
but
He's also a foot taller than me. And,
yeah.
well, I guess that worked out. He wouldn't want to be short. So I guess I wouldn't want to be 6 feet tall. So I guess we're
I
good.
mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm
Well, for dudes,
I'm
it's
6 foot.
tougher as a lady to be quite that tall.
Yes, like uh, Shauna, my wife, she's like 5'7", 5'8".
Oh, my dream was to be 5'7".
Now the funny thing is, my brother's like the same height as my wife.
Mhm.
He, um, but like a lot of Shauna's cousins are like 6 foot, 6'1". I mean, they're
Wow. Tall people.
all girls.
Yeah. Wow.
Her dad,
Girls?
yeah,
Wow.
her dad's like 6'8", so
Oh,
it's.
wow.
I mean,
Okay.
but
I was not born of tall. My mother was taller than my dad. Actually, my mom was like 5'9".
see, my
My
mom,
dad was like, I'm 5'8". I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's like 5'7", a little shorter.
my dad's about my size. I might actually be a little tall. My stepmom says I'm taller than him now, but I say he's shrinking.
Mm, it
But
happens.
yeah, my mom is like, well, now she's a midget technically. When we were kids, she's like 5'1 1/4", and very
Right.
proud of that 1 1/4.
Let me tell you what, it's important to have that. I'm 5'1.5". Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go.
I, I
But
round up because, half, so 5'2".
so you're 5'2". There you go.
I'm 5'2". And then if, depending on the shoes, I might be like 5'4", 5'5" even. It's
With
depending on the
due
boots.
respect, I hate wearing heels. Uh,
Oh,
the
I
funny
live
thing
in
was
them.
when we were kids and my mom, like, she'd and be like, "That's so cute," but
I hate it.
yeah. Oh, I know she hates it too. But like I said, now she's a midget because she really is officially shrinking.
No,
And I've spent
poor
the
mom.
past 5 or 6 years giving her hell about it because
Because you can.
well, at one
Yeah.
point I was just like, "Are you getting smaller?" And she was like, "No."
Yeah. No.
And then she went to the doctor and found out she was getting smaller.
Yeah.
And
Drink your milk, folks.
she made the mistake of telling me that she was getting smaller.
Oh, well, that'll never die.
At which point, yeah, no, it's done.
Never.
It is never going to die ever. So I talked to her, and the last time I talked to her, well, the last time I saw her in person, because they live in Arkansas, so I don't see them as
Oof. Okay.
often. But it's like 9.5 hours from here. But
Yeah.
they're retired. They come and visit.
Nice.
They'll swing through here on the way to Wisconsin to go see the rest of the family.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's nice. But
Poor
yeah,
little
the last
mom.
time I saw her, I went to go give her a hug, and I'm like,
Bending way down.
yeah, I was like, you been to the doctor lately? And she's like, he said, Are you gonna tell me? Like I didn't have
She
to
so
laugh.
doesn't even want to tell you
You're
now.
gonna
She
tell me?
hates you.
And she's like,
Nope.
okay. I said, so how much? And she's like, I said, it was like a full inch. And she goes,
Oh no. She's now 4'11".
yes,
Oh, poor mom.
4'10" and a half.
Oh
Because she's been shrinking progressively. And I'm like,
no.
you realize
Oh,
4'10's a midget. And she's like,
I hate you.
shut up. And it's funny. I mean, my mom is this like sweet, tiny little woman.
Oh.
She always has been. Like, she is what would have happened if Pollyanna didn't get crippled up at the end of the story.
Oh, your
That
mom
is
sounds
my
sweet
mother.
then.
She is such a sweetheart. She is just thinks the best of everybody. She's almost naive. I mean, not
Oh.
exactly. It's just she's so optimistic that people don't suck. And like anybody that knows her is just like, how did you have like
Polar
after my
opposites.
dad?
Yeah.
He's a cynical old bastard too. Although my dad's a great guy too. I was like, and B, I don't know.
Oh.
I choose to be evil, I guess. I don't know. And then when I moved down to Illinois and moved down here and started going to culinary school, and I'm like my first friends I made in Illinois were a couple guys from school, and one of the guys, my friend Big Matt was something else. I miss him dearly. He passed away
Oh, I'm sorry.
COVID. Um, Actually, ironically enough, right after he got the shot, so he could fly down to Florida to spend time with his mom. So,
No, that
not saying
sucks.
the two are connected. I'm just saying I had to go to his funeral
Hell,
Zoom meeting. So,
that's
but
disgusting.
yeah, it sucked. But God bless him. He was a wonderful human being, great guy, one of my best friends I made in my adult life. But the first time I met him, my mom and my stepdad's um, house has their neighborhood down here had a block party every year, and so my mom was like, "Well, why don't you invite your friends from culinary school? They can come. We got plenty of food, and there's beer and all this other stuff, and just give them the address and tell them they're gonna have to park a block away and walk, but they can come to the block party because for our block party they did shut off the entire street."
Nice. That sounds like fun.
And and of course my mom had to tell the block party committee like, "Oh, my son's going to be a chef." So I wound up getting roped to like doing
Sucker.
we did a
Thanks, Mom. Yeah.
like everybody all the families brought dishes to pass and stuff, but then
Hmm.
the main entree they did a whole hog on a roaster, and it was like a 300-pound hog.
Oh
And
my
the
God.
thing was gigantic.
Oh my God.
Hey, Loretta's here. Um, and it was oh, I'm sorry, I didn't acknowledge Kelsey. She's been here for uh, a half hour, 20 minutes,
Huh?
40 minutes, something. I can't math right
I
now.
can't math.
It's been a long day. Yeah, Kelsey, I'm sorry, I should have acknowledged you're here too. Hi, Kelsey. Thanks for joining us. And Loretta's here on X, our watcher on X.
Yay.
But anyway, yeah. So I after I got up to like mind the pig roaster all for like we started at like 3 in the morning, so it'd be ready.
Yeah.
Already kicked off. So I was out there like 22 years old, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had like a case of beer and
I was gonna say you were drinking.
charcoal. So I'm out there drinking beer. Like
Ugh.
I'd finish like 3 beers, pour more charcoal into the smoker, go back to drinking
Oh my God.
because I was just drinking beer because I didn't want to get drunk. So
Yeah, because beer doesn't get people drunk. That's
well,
good.
it doesn't get maybe
Well, maybe not
it gets
used
normal
drunk.
people drunk.
I
It
was gonna
doesn't
say
get
maybe not quite so
drunk,
much you.
but I'm from Wisconsin. That's we don't drink beer. No,
We don't drink beer.
drunk. We drink beer to drink. But
That's like pregame.
yeah, exactly. And
Gotcha.
so, but we find so the cookout rolls around, finally kicks off. My buddy Big Matt shows up shortly after dark. Now, because I had a bunch of my friends coming and my brother had a bunch of his friends coming, we went out and got a keg and had the keg in the backyard behind my mom's house, so we didn't have to share it with anybody that wasn't part of our.
Oh, you're
And
not feeding the neighbor. You're feeding the neighborhood, but you're not
yeah,
giving
we're
them
not giving
booze. Yeah.
them booze. They got to get their own booze.
Yeah. Bring your own. Yep.
And so we're sitting out there with we didn't get a big keg. We got a quarter barrel, not a half barrel.
Oh, that's not too bad for
Because
you and like three
there
other
was only
guys.
like 8 of us. So
Oh my God.
we get this quarter barrel and we're all sitting around in a circle in the backyard, and those of us that were smokers were having cigarettes because we didn't want us to go in the house to smoke, because
Oh no. Don't do
and
that.
so we're just sitting out back eating, smoking, having some beers, having some laughs, having a good time. And so my buddy Matt shows up to the house, rings the doorbell, and my mom was in the house, and "Oh, you must be Matt. We've been waiting for you here. Um, you can go out to there's the food's over here in front of the neighbor's house. You can help yourself to whatever you want. They've got sodas, they've got waters, they've got all the stuff. Or if you want to just go, the guys are all in the backyard. If you want to just go in the backyard and grab a beer, I'll go make you a plate if you want to. But I'm sure you'd rather probably make your own."
Oh,
And just being my mom.
how cute.
So about 10 minutes later, my buddy Big Matt is standing there with a plate in one hand and a cup my mom gave him to get a beer in the other hand because we had like reusable cups that were plastic
Hmm.
for instead of like solo cups. So he's standing there with his beer cup and his plate, and he goes, "Was that dude? That was your mom, right?" I'm like, "Yes, that was my mom." Okay. He's like, "She is such a sweet woman."
Where did you come from?
And she's like, "Are you adopted?" I'm like, "No, I mean, I know she's short." And he's like, "No, it's not that.
She's nice.
Oh, nice. What happened?" And then this was
You're
also
22, so
yeah,
you're
this is
just
also the
already,
first time
yeah.
he met my brother, who at the time was
Hmm.
only 20. Just again the 2 year gap. So he's my 20-year-old brother's there, and by the end of the night, he has decided we're both rotten bastards. And he's like, and he goes, I figured it out. This is, and bear in mind, this is after we like put a real hurt on that keg. It's
I
like
was gonna say you guys must have been hammered, right?
we were all pretty painful at that point. And and by that point, the whole thing that prompted him to go back to talking about my mother was that she had come out to inform everybody that she set up air mattresses in the basement for everybody, and
Oh,
there were
everybody like
blankets and everything.
drunk pass out on.
She's like, so if you guys want to go downstairs to go to sleep, that'll be fine. It's everything's downstairs in the TV room, and I've got air mattresses set up, and there's the couches, and there's the day beds down there, and I set up my massage table for if somebody wants to sleep on that. So my mom's a physical therapist,
Okay.
so she
Your
does.
tiny little mother is a physical
Yeah,
therapist.
it's crazy to me,
That's hysterical. Okay.
but that's why I used to ask her if she wanted me to saw the legs off her table, so it'd be.
To shorten it.
But so she's
It's
like,
so
okay,
relatable. I totally get that.
but she's like, okay, guys, well, everybody have a good night. Mike and I are going to bed. Um, you don't have to worry about being loud or anything. We're on the other side of the house. She's okay, good night. And she goes back in the house, and my buddy Matt looks at us and goes, I figured it out. He goes, you two bastards were breastfed, weren't you? And I'm like, I don't see how that's relevant. And he goes,
Okay.
you sucked all the rotten and evil right out of that woman. And I'm like,
What a bizarre thing to say.
I can't find any fault in your logic.
But that would mean your mother was a terrible, terrible person.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't think
doubt
so.
it. But it was just a funny take.
Oh
I
my
was just like,
God.
dude, that is
So
priceless.
your tiny mother amidst giants.
Yeah,
Funny.
my brother's only 5'7", so it's
I
he's a wee fella,
he's a weak fella.
which
Yeah,
is
I
funny.
don't know.
He married a tall one. My sister-in-law is my height ish.
That's pretty
She
tall.
might actually be taller than me. I haven't seen her in a
Tall
decade.
for a lady.
I don't remember. Yeah,
I mean, everybody's tall to me. So I mean, anybody
definitely.
over like 5'8", 5'9", I'm looking up anyway. So
It's actually kind of funny because for their wedding pictures, they did their wedding in like a forest preserve
hmm.
out in Washington, or was it in Indiana? I think it was Washington. No, it was Washington. And they're like the same height in all the pictures because they found a hole that she was standing in, and she had the wedding dress spread out over. So
So that at least
tell
she
she was
didn't
standing in a hole.
tower over her groom.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. And then her
You need to
brother
get a
is
box for your
huge.
mom, like one of those little steppy boxes.
Oh yeah, I totally.
Like so, the next time she comes to visit you, be hang on when so I don't have to bend so low,
Here you
and then
go.
just pull it out and let her step on,
No,
it. And it has a little handle because she's older, so she'd be safely stepping up for a hug.
little guide rail on there for the little.
She might hit you, but
She might, but it would be funny.
it wouldn't hurt though because she's
Oh, I
a little.
no. When I was younger, like when I first moved back home,
Mhm.
when I moved down here to go to culinary school, because I'd been out on my own for a couple of years prior to that, as one tends to do when you're an irresponsible
Yeah,
scumbag like myself. Well,
rapscallion
I
that you
tried
are.
going to college, and
Mhm.
I,
Not for you.
I had a lot of other things going on, and basically dropped out.
Probably had way more fun not in college
Oh no, I wasn't
while
even.
going to college.
I had a breakdown basically.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Sorry.
well, no, I was trying to do too much.
Mm,
A couple of my friends and I had started our own business. I was going working the business like full time plus, going to
mm.
school full time,
Yeah, that doesn't always work out well. Something
and
breaks.
then basically I got one of my teachers right before midterm. So I'd been going to school for like 7 weeks at this point. And one of my teachers said, Aaron, I don't know why, but you're not on the attendance rolls. You've been here every day, but you're not on the attendance rolls. You need to go find out what's going on. Go down and talk to the registrar's office. And I was like, okay. And
Hello?
yeah, there was a glitch, and I got glitched out of all my classes.
Oh my
And
God.
basically, I had to go back through and talk to all my teachers to get like authorized to join the class at that late date.
Even
And
though you've been going. Yeah, that's cool.
one of the teachers was like, well, I no. And I kind of lost my shit. And then in the same week, I got into a fight with my business partners, and
Mm-mm.
like basically one of them said something that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Not good. Gotcha.
Instead of I said something to him, and he said, "I'm going to write that down under problems with employees." And I was like, "I don't work for you, motherfucker. We're partners." And
Ooh,
yeah, it blew up, and I was like, "Look, buy me out, give me back what I put into this company, and I'm gone. I'm done. Because we
good
can
for you.
either stay partners or we can stay friends, but we're not going to do both." And so I walked away, and then they had to hire two people to replace me.
No,
So go figure. Um, but yeah, so I basically had a little issue, and I just dropped out of college. I was like, you know what, this is
this
the
wasn't for you.
not
Yeah.
supposed to be here. This is fucking stupid.
No,
I like locked myself in my room for like 3 days with a case of beer and a carton of cigarettes, and
you got to
had
work through it.
little errand time to work through it and figure some shit out, and realized I didn't want to do that. And since I walked away from the business, I didn't have anywhere to be, and
Right.
and it was like literally right before I freaking moved out on my own because I was actually still living in my dad's house. And I was gone so much that the fact that I didn't come out of my room for 3 days, he just figured I was like hanging out at the office or whatever because I didn't tell him what was going on.
You didn't even know you were there.
He didn't even know I was there. And I'm like, you didn't
Clouds of
tell,
smoke coming out from
I'm like,
underneath the
you didn't
door.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, my dad smoked too, so he
Oh,
didn't.
so it didn't matter then. Okay.
And my room was in the basement. Like
Oh,
I had my own entrance because
oh my.
yeah, we set that up deliberately when I when I moved in because it was like, yeah, I need to be able to because he bought that house like right after I graduated from high school.
Mm.
It was a
Well, you need
different.
to have your adult entrance, so to speak.
So I was like out of high school, and he didn't want me bothering him like because I was keeping such stupid hours.
Right.
And he got up at 3 a.m. to go to work, so he was in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Oof.
He didn't need my loud, stupid teenage ass coming in and walking through the.
Tromping around. Yeah.
So he was like, "All right, look, here's this back door that goes into the basement from the backyard. We're gonna put your room in the basement." I didn't have to stay down there. It was like, "You stay in the basement, fucker." But it was like, if I'm gonna
Live down here now.
if I'm gonna be coming and going during weird ass hours, use the back door. Don't come through the normal
There you
part of
go.
the house. Don't set the dog
Right.
off. Don't wake him up.
That makes sense.
And I was like, that's perfectly reasonable. So there would be times where we wouldn't see each other for 4 or 5 days
Oh my God.
because I was either at the office or at
Right.
college, or like I'd come home and take a change of clothes and be gone.
Just
In
cross paths, but never. Yeah.
in the night.
Yeah.
But
Someone's eating the food, but that's all I got.
I wasn't even eating the food.
Well, that's what I
I
meant.
was eating
Like,
at the office too. So
right. Oh,
like,
so
like I said, I was literally there or at college 90% of the time. And that's like I said, when I was younger, I never slept either. I'd sleep 3 or 4 hours a day tops.
oh,
And so I would just
I could do that and still survive
oh no,
because
I
I would work a
was
bunch of
thriving
jobs.
when I was younger.
Yeah, I could literally go to work, come home, nap for an hour, shower, go back out, come home at like 2, and then turn around, be out the door for work at like 6, 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
It,
I did
you
that.
could do it then.
And then but so
The good
after
old days.
I was like after I had my little mental pause.
Mm.
And it was kind of funny because my dad was like, I didn't even realize you were here. These beer cans come from.
That's a riot.
The 19-year-old kid with like 60 cans of beer on the floor of his bedroom when his old
Yeah,
man comes in.
we're not going to worry about that. Did he
Like,
address the issue? Like, hey, that's a lot of beer cans.
yeah, no, he was just kind of like, how long have you been in here?
Coming through like,
It's
like kicking cans around his
oh yeah,
feet.
no, that's basically how it was too.
He like shuffled in. Like, what the fuck?
It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm having a bad week.
Nothing. Having a bad week.
And he's like, all right, well, you want to tell me about it? And I kind of told him what was going on. I gave him the rough outline of it. He's like,
Yeah, it sucks.
that sucks. You need to get your shit together because you're not going to be sitting here living in the basement and just sitting down here chain smoking and drinking beer all day.
Boomer parents.
He was like, get a job,
Get out.
get your shit
Yeah.
together, get out. if you're not going to college, you can go be an adult. And I was like, all right,
Yep.
bet, cool. How long do I have to find a job? And he's like,
Yesterday.
well, it's Wednesday. I'm like, gotcha. And he's like, I'm not going to kick you out, but you're going to get your ass out and go look for a job. I'm like, no, I got you. He says, and so
Okay.
I got a job.
Shower first, though.
Yeah.
Don't
I
smell like
took,
old
took a
cigarettes,
shower, shaved,
dirty beer.
didn't want to smell like beer and cigarettes. So, got cleaned up.
At least not right away.
Yeah. Went out, found a job, started my job.
Hmm.
I told Mike, came back like, hey, Dad, I got a job. I started on Monday. He's like, all right, cool. Um, it's like the 22nd. So, got till the end of next month. Then you got to get the hell out. I'm like, all right, cool.
Wow.
That's fair. Thanks. So he gave me 6 weeks to save all my
Wow.
stuff. And well, I was making really good money too. So I was like,
Oh, okay.
no
Well,
problem.
but that's when you could still get like an apartment or like room up with someone. Now it's
Oh no, I had the upstairs of a duplex, 2 bedrooms. And well, it was actually a really big duplex. So the upstairs was actually 2 units. There was my side, which was the 2 bedroom side, and across
Mhm.
the hallway at the top of the landing was a loft. It was
Oh,
literally a one room,
yeah, one big space.
kitchenette, and a little bathroom, and that was it.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, well, the guy that lived in that part was a real scumbag. So I I was living in the duplex part in the 2 bedroom part with a friend of mine, and but so I was there like maybe 3 or 4 weeks in the new place, and then all of a sudden, because I was never a morning person,
Hmm.
so I was like I kept trying to get off of first shift at the place I was working, and they told me a third shift spot opened up in maintenance, and I'm like, well, the daytime maintenance guys sit on fork trucks all day and drink coffee and wait for shit to break. I can sit on a fork truck and drink coffee all night and wait for shit to break. Sounds great. I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'll take it. If they're, I mean, like, I don't have any maintenance experience. He's like, oh, they'll train you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I show up for my first night shift, and they're like, can you start tonight? I'm like, yeah. What time do I got to be back? And they're like, 7 p.m. Yeah, bet I'll be here.
Doing it.
And so I showed up at 7 p.m. And now normally the shift started at 11, but I needed to be there
Oh, right.
for like orientation, yada yada yada. So
Orientation.
I show up and
Don't drink this. Don't drive that. Don't spill
pretty
this.
much, and they're like, hi, are you Dave? I'm Aaron. I'm your new third shift maintenance guy. And he goes, all right, cool. Come this way. He hands me a big set of keys and he's like, okay, this is your closet. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm a janitor.
Oh, I have to do shit.
I was the janitor now. And
Oh no.
I didn't care. I was like, this is great because
Nobody bothers you though.
nobody bothered me. It was 1998. I was making like 11.30 an hour.
That's really good for that time.
For that back then, that was great, especially for
That is a great time.
no fucking responsibilities in the world. It was beautiful. And also we had optional overtime. We had 4 hours of
Ooh,
mandatory overtime every week, guaranteed 4 hours of overtime. But we had optional overtime that I always took because I'm a filthy little
money.
and I
Yeah.
want money.
Money,
So
money.
I worked an extra 2 hours of overtime every night. That was time and a half. So I was making another like $18 an hour for 10 hours a week, plus that extra
Nice.
guaranteed 4 hours of. So I was making 14 hours a week at like $18 an hour,
Oh my
40 hours a week at 11.30, and so I had more money than I needed. My rent, the whole rent on my apartment, and I had a roommate. The whole rent was $400 a month,
God. Oh my God. Yeah.
which I made in one check consistently every week. And so I had that, and I had a roommate that I really didn't need, but that's a whole
Oh,
other part of the conversation.
400, 400 a month. That's perfect.
Yeah,
It
so
just allows you to save, save or whatever.
paying like 200 a month. I paid an extra 25 bucks a month for a parking spot that I like sublet out of somebody's garage driveway,
Nice.
like my neighbor's driveway. So I didn't have to park on the street because like when it
Ugh,
snowed, we had
I
all
know.
side
That
parking
was the
and
worst.
that bullshit. So yeah, coming out of pocket $225 a month plus utilities. So I had plenty of money, and then I'm
Mhm.
working third shift. So during the day, all of my friends were either at work or in school. So I didn't have anybody to hang out with. So I got a day job. so, so
You're such a nerd.
I would work my night job, go home, sleep for like 3 hours, get up, have
Ah,
breakfast, go to my day job, work my day job until 10 o'clock, go have lunch, go to my night job.
Oh my God.
And
That's
I did that
bonkers.
for like 2.5 years. I
You probably made some serious coin.
I I made a lot of money. I spent a lot of money.
You
I
dummy.
I you know, I
Well, you're a kid.
went out all the yeah, I was exactly. I was
That's what
22.
I would
I
do.
went
Yeah.
out
I didn't
anytime I
save
felt like
shit. Yeah.
I would, I made a point of telling my day job that I would not work Saturdays because that was like my, because Friday was my Saturday, Saturday was my Sunday. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm not working Saturdays because I need to have one day a week where I can just decompress,
Just
which was utter
do
horse
something
shit
that would not
because
work. Yeah.
yeah, because Saturday night I was going out with all my other degenerate 20-year-old, 21-year-old
Well,
friends, and like we would do
but
stuff.
that's what you do
Yeah,
when
but
you're 20,
back in
21.
2021, that's what you do.
Of
And I would do
course.
things like we would go to Chicago to go to the clubs,
Hmm.
and we'd like rent a car because, or not like a car, but we'd get a limo because we knew we were going to get fucked up and we didn't want to drive back to Wisconsin. So, and we'd go to the clubs where like, places where you had to wait in line, you had to be dressed nice to get in, and there was a doorman and there was a cover charge, and you had to pay to
Mm.
get bottle service to get a table. And it'd be like me and all my degenerate buddies, and we'd be at,
Paying for bottle service. How
well,
nice.
we had to because we wanted a table.
Right.
I wanted to be able to sit. And we'd get girls coming up like, "Oh, look, there's four young guys over at that table. Let's go
Hmm.
flirt."
They
And
look like they have money.
they have
Yay.
money. Ooh. And we'd be just acting stupid, being young.
Because
And
you can. Yeah.
inevitably it'd be like, "Oh, well, what do you guys do? Tee hee, flirty flirty. Let's find out who's got the bread." And we'd go, my friends would be like, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm in college, and oh, well,
Mm.
I own my own business," and because I was still hanging out with those guys. and it'd be like, "Oh, well, I'm a student. Oh, I'm a pilot." And then they'd get to me and I'd be like, "I'm a janitor.
They're like,
Have you
boop.
noticed who's paying for everything?"
Yeah, the janitor. Hey, don't knock the janitors. I always thought it was smart when I used to work in some department stores and other retail things in the mall and all this, that, and the other. And it was always smart to be nice to the maintenance guys.
Oh, always.
Always. Anytime I had an issue, they showed up to my station or my store as soon as they could. It was phenomenal. They were great.
No, yeah, if you're good to those guys, they'll
You
appreciate
have to be. People are so shitty sometimes to
it.
maintenance, and I'm like, look, you need crap taken away.
Oh yeah, no.
Those are the guys you got to call. Why would you be a dick to them?
Everywhere like when I was up at Marquette University as a chef there, I
Mm.
always took care of my maintenance guy, my building. I never had a problem with shit.
Nope. Nope. All your deliveries get where they need to
Pick up
go.
a phone call, yeah,
Hmm.
like, "Hey, my steamer's acting up. Hey, I'll be right up."
Yeah.
"Hey, great, you're here. You want something? I just got some
Want me to cook you something?
brought in.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a cake for you to take home to your wife and kids."
Yeah.
And I could do that. Or like when I was at the club in Chicago, the maintenance guys at the club in Chicago loved me because I took good care of them. I got them cases of free shit
Oh yeah.
because I would get samples from my vendors and, be like, "Hey, check this out. I got these brand new, potato product from McCain's. They're going to be coming out in the market next month. They're not even on the market yet. Here, take these home for your kids." And I knew about all their kids, all their families, what they were up.
Yep. Smart,
Bought
smart.
Girl Scout cookies from all of them. I bought
Oh yeah.
freaking popcorn from the Cub Scouts. I expensed all of it.
I would. Absolutely.
But I'm like, yeah, no, that's relations. That's because the club I was in a high rise in Chicago, so that was like the maintenance was an entirely separate company, building people,
Yep.
and anything I couldn't fix myself was that was the other reason the maintenance guys like me. If I called them up, it was because it was something way above my pay grade.
Yeah. It wasn't like I can't change this light bulb or something. Yeah.
It was like, yeah, hey, look, there's water coming out of the wall. I don't do plumbing.
It's not the faucet. Yeah.
Like I fixed the sink, but that wasn't the problem. And
Yeah. No. Not good. Not
that
good.
actually
Nope.
did come up in one conversation too, where the maintenance guy came up and he was looking at one of the sinks. He's like, "Wasn't there a work order in on this?" I said, "Yeah, I got tired of waiting." He's like,
Hmm.
"It's like the same faucet, but it's not leaking anymore." I said, "Yeah, I took the cartridge out and replaced the O-rings on it. It wasn't hard." He's like,
Just didn't want to wait anymore. Yeah.
Like, dude, seriously, I went down to my car in the parking garage, got my tools, and came up here and fixed it. You were taking too fucking long. And he's like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, I'm not mad. I don't give a shit.
Shit happens.
If I
Yeah.
was mad, you would have heard about it. There would have been a toenail in one of those donuts I gave you the other
Oh my
day.
God.
That's pretty much how he reacted too.
Oh, it's hideous.
That's
My
the thing.
dad
I
worked
say
food
a lot
service
of
for
weird
years.
shit that I
Yeah.
won't actually do. I've never when I mean I talk a lot of shit about like man
Oh,
I
yeah.
swear to God I'm gonna put Visine in your fucking smoothie tomorrow and you're gonna
Shit for days. Yeah.
never done that to anybody. I mean I know people that have. I've been witness
Oh, you can't do that.
people fucking
Yeah.
people's food. I've never actually done it. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm like I'm too fucking professional for that.
Yeah. Well, you go to jail for that. Like, that's not
Well, yeah,
cool. Like,
that
yeah.
too. But I
It's
mean,
not like you're just, oh, I'm just gonna fuck with them. It's like I'm gonna go to jail. Like I'm done. Like every which way.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I've never like I've never
The
delivered
thought is always there though. Like
or
I
spice
could.
on
Yeah.
their like oh oops I dropped your
Yeah.
chicken. Never
Oops,
done that.
it's extra crispy because all the shit on the floor. Yeah.
I mean, I have deliberately destroyed people's meals a couple of times, but that's an entirely different thing. Like
Oops.
we at a restaurant I was running at one point, we had a lady come in and order a steak medium rare, and then she kept sending it back till it was like well done. Like oh, it's not done right, it's not cooked right, it needs to be cooked. And anyway, and then she complained that we fucked her order up and went to the owner and complained and got her meal comped.
Meal for free. That's what they always do.
She came back like 2 weeks later,
Oh,
got sat
okay.
in a different section, but pulled the exact same shit. Ordered a steak medium rare, and the waiter who had her the previous time saw her because it was a
Mm,
different section, and he came in and he's like, "Hey, Aaron, it's that lady from last week." Because being the chef, I went out. Oh, look, ma'am, I'm sorry for the confusion. It's gonna take a little longer to just trying to smooth things over
right.
before she went to go bitch. And the owner was a nice guy. He comped their drinks and everything. And so
Wow.
yeah, so the next time, and she was like, "Well, I know how a steak's supposed to be prepared. I work at Texas Roadhouse or whatever, and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
Yeah. I know how to microwave my food. Okay.
"So, but the other waiter is like, dude, that bitch is back," and I was like, "You're gonna have to be more specific." Steak lady
There's
from
a
2 weeks ago. I'm like, "What table?" And he told me what table it was. I was like, "Hey, that New York for table 37, yeah, cook it to well." Chef, it says medium. I know what
cook it well.
it says medium rare. Cook it well. And I said, when she complains, you come get me immediately. And the waitress was like, she didn't know what was going on. She's like, okay, sweet kid. She's like
Oh,
17. She was not the one to have to deal with a bitchy customer. Like, soon as
right.
she starts complaining, you come get me. I will deal with her. Okay, Aaron, you say so. And she goes out and comes back, and the lady says it's cooked wrong. I said, I know she did. And I went out and hi, ma'am. How you doing? I thought I'd just, cut the dance out this time and cook it to what you cooked it had it last time you were here and pulled this same crap. Said, now you either don't know what you want, despite the fact that you work at Texas Roadhouse, or you're trying to scam another free meal out of us, and that's not going to be happening. So here's your options: you can have your dinner, you can pay for it like a normal human being, and then you can be on your merry way, or you can get the fuck out. And he's, you can't talk to me like that.
I did.
Yeah, I can actually. I already cleared it with the owner. I want to talk to the owner right now. I'm gonna go get him. You stay right here. I went back into the back, went into the owner's office, said, Derek, you remember that lady I told you there was probably going to be a problem tonight? Yeah, she's being a problem. And he walks out there, and I walked out there with him. I'm just,
Behind him.
hi, how you doing? This is going to be great. And she's like, your chef is being incredibly rude. And he goes, well, seeing as I comped your entire bill last time you were here, and he told me you're trying to pull the exact same stunt this time, your options are you can pay for your meal and eat your dinner, or you can get the fuck out. I cannot believe you're talking to me that way. I'm going to tell all of my friends that they should never come here. He goes, if they're your friends, they're probably every bit as shitty as you are. Don't want your business. I was like,
Leave. Leave now. Yeah. Did she leave?
yeah, her husband was mortified. You could see it in his face. And
Her
she was
husband.
like, I
God.
can't believe this. We're leaving. And he's like, I just got my dinner.
I mean, my dinner's fine.
He was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, you can
Oh,
hang
you
out.
whip bastard.
She can wait in the car. He's like, no, no, she
No,
can't.
she has the keys.
No, he was just like, no, I have to go. And I was just like, nah. And this young single Aaron was just like, dude, come on. Old married Aaron gets it.
Well,
I'm just, I mean, my wife would
yeah.
never pull that shit, but
Yeah, I know. Well, I
I,
can't even
I
imagine.
understand the
Yeah.
whole like, well, she said we're going, so
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I don't think I've
yeah.
I don't understand how people can pull behavior like that. Like I understand if your meal's not the way you like or whatever, of course address it. But like the people like, I want to see the chef. I want the like what are you doing? Like we had one meal and that's actually the last time we ate at one of these local at this local restaurant. It had to have been 7, 8 years ago. Like every time I drive by it, we go, oh, remember that meal? Like that's how bad it was. And the meal was horrific to the point where the waitress came up and she's like, I'm so sorry. Like she knew the meal was shit. It was just all fucked up. And and the manager like took some stuff off the bill and I tipped her based on the bill. And I actually wrote on the bill like this was I'm completely like I guess I Karened a little bit, but I didn't yell at anybody. But I expressed my disappointment in the meal, but I tipped the shit out of the waitress. Like
Well, see,
because
that's good.
I
I
felt bad. Like she was like the one waitress. It was like a full like there was one or two waitresses and a bartender. It was so not staffed properly.
yeah, I've had that happen too, where I was
You
at a
can't shit on the servers. That's
fucking.
not their fault.
Now, on the other hand, I'm also the guy though. This is what I do. You can't bullshit me.
Well, you
I
also
know the
you're
difference.
looking at it from another eye. So
I
I
know
get
the
that.
difference between like the kitchen's fucking up
Hmm.
and this plate has been sitting in the pass through for the last 25 minutes because it's
Yeah.
all dried out and shitty. And I can,
Yep.
so it's like, you know, if you fucked up, be honest with me. If you
I get it.
got
Yeah.
busy, I get it. Be honest with me. You try to lie to me, it will not go
Yeah.
well for you.
I've been doing this a hot minute. Yeah, I know what the
I,
deal is.
I'm a great customer to have though. I am so
Yeah.
easygoing as a customer. Like I'm not gonna get
Yeah. I
snide.
try not to be jerky because it's
I just chill.
why.
I take
Yeah.
care of my people that take care of me. Even shitty service still gets a decent tip. I've
I'll
only
give them the
ever
minimum tip, but I don't do like a
minimum.
dollar. I hate when people do that.
I hate that shit.
That's fucking shitty. Like even if
Good,
they're crappy, like they may get
one person.
15% though.
Yeah,
Like,
crappy server gets 15%.
yeah.
Good
I
server
tip easily 25%.
5. Yeah, I'm the same way. I've actually a couple places I've actually tipped
Mhm.
the bill a couple of times because we didn't order that much, but the service was just that damn good.
Yeah. No, I love when that.
Yeah, we went out for coffee and each got a pastry and the bill was like $8 and I threw
Oh
a
yeah, what are you gonna leave? What, $4? Like I leave a 10. Like,
exactly like here you go. You did fantastic. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, I feel shit when people are like, well, 20%. I'm like, of $8, $10? I'm gonna leave $2?
You're gonna leave
Come on.
a tip, but
Don't be an ass. Like
yeah,
my
that's
mom started getting cheap when she was ill. So we would go out to eat and then she would leave tip and I would like go back and like slide a little extra. I'm like, I'm sorry.
yeah.
She was also like, this is this on this thing? Like she'd start nitpicking and I'm like, the waitress look at me, I'm like, I'm really
I'm sorry.
sorry. I'll make it up to you at the end, I promise.
She's old.
She's crazy and she's kind of sick. So like we're happy to take her out and eat. But like she wasn't mean, but my mom just had a
Boy,
manner about her that was just
she had a way about her.
tough. Yeah. Yeah.
I can get that. When Sean and I first started like dating, her family, like her mom and her dad, and a couple of her like, I guess technically they're her cousins, but they were like old enough to be our parents.
Mm.
It's kind of a weird dynamic. Shauna's mom was the youngest of I think 8 kids.
Oh, so there's big age gaps
Yeah,
and all
her
kinds of
her
stuff. Yeah, I
oldest
get it.
brother was like 19 when she was born.
Oh, yeah. So
So
she's the baby every which way. Yeah.
yeah. So she had a couple nieces and nephews that were only a few years younger than her. And also Shauna kind of came along a little bit later in the equation too. So, you know.
Surprise.
So subsequently, some of Shauna's cousins are old enough to be our parents. and so which, like I said, makes telling the story kind of weird. But so we would go out to dinner with her parents and her cousin and her cousin's husband and her other cousin and his wife, and we would be the young people at the table because we were both in our mid 20s.
You youngins, yeah.
Yeah, we were the youngins, and be us and Alex, and then everybody else, and they're pretty like it's a two-factor thing. Like the dining options in the immediate area around here are very limited.
Mhm.
At least they were at the time. This was 20 years ago. A lot of stuff sprouted up since then. We actually even got a hibachi place now.
Ooh, fancy.
I live in a little town. Population
That's all right. I'm teasing.
when I moved out here was like 1,400, I think. It's like
Mm.
13,000 now, but at the time it was like I said, when I moved out here, it
So it's like a diner,
had
like a
just
coffee
divided
joint.
the highway. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a Greek restaurant and a sub.
Really, a Greek restaurant. That's interesting. Yeah.
Like one of those places that has a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
I mean, that's just industry term for it. It's a Greek restaurant because they're usually
Oh, like a diner, like a
nice.
little this.
Yeah,
You can get
but they
dessert, you can get coffees, you can
get
get
breakfast.
steak,
You can get
breakfast. Yeah.
breakfast 24/7.
Mm.
Usually, they had a pretty good steak and stuff like that too because it was
Diner.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it was a diner basically. But it was like that, a Subway and a
Oh,
McDonald's, and that was pretty much it. And there's a little tiny burrito place that doesn't have a sign, so I didn't know it was there for like the first year and a half I lived here.
those are the best places sometimes.
Yeah, no, that I
The
love
little
that.
dinky ones that you never
Once I
see.
found it, I'm there like at least every other month.
Mm.
So I don't go out to eat as much as you'd think, but
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's expensive.
yeah.
Like,
But we would go to places and it'd be so we'd a table we'd be at a 10 top, and I'd always be sitting there like, okay, where's our waiter? Waiter, come here. All right, it's gonna be me, her, and the kid on one check, right? These two are okay. Those other four at the other end of the table are all gonna be a pain in your ass. I just want to say up front, I get it. I work in the industry. I tip well. I take care of my people. I'm very understanding. Make sure nothing bad happens to these five plates. That's all I'm gonna say. I got you. and without fail, once I got to be recognized, because like I said, we had like five options for dinner if we were
right.
driving out of town. So,
He's the food guy with his family. Be nice to him.
oh no, they'd be like, "Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Don't worry, I got you." Like, the diner.
Like Norm walking into the bar.
Oh,
Norm.
yeah, no, the diner actually knew Alex before, like, because they've been going there for so long. Like they used to set him on the table in a car seat when he was little.
Oh my goodness.
Like he literally grew up going there, and that boy could do no wrong in that building.
Mm.
He would go in there. We'd go in there for Sunday morning breakfast, and he'd order fried chicken. They would turn the fryer on just to make him fried chicken at
Aw.
9:30 in the morning. They'd be like, "Hey, it's our buddy." Make him all drumsticks, and he would sit there, and they knew that he liked his bacon extra crispy, but don't burn it, which is hilarious coming out of the mouth of a 4-year-old. I like my bacon crispy, don't burn. Like,
Oh my God.
okay, there you go, bud.
Diva, diva.
Oh no, he was just that was
I
his thing. He was just like, this is what I want.
don't blame him. Burnt
Say
bacon is not great. I mean, I'll still eat bacon because yum, but I prefer it's not burned.
yeah, but it was just funny to me though, and
That's cute though.
he was adorable. I picked up that was a good pickup. I did okay with that one. Yeah. Well, I mean, I assume the payments, so
I assume the payments. Well worth it.
yeah. Oh, he's a like I said, I am dad. I mean, I did the whole I adopted him. He's
It's all that matters.
my fucking kid,
He's your kid.
and but yeah, when he was little, he was he was a trip. I mean, he had no problem like being there and be like, here, this is what I want, and they would just okay, here you go, we're gonna give it to him, and then but it was funny because we go to other places because like once I came into the scene, it's like the first time that he came with me and his mom, and it wasn't even a date. Actually, it was before we started dating. We were just friends and we were hanging out.
Mhm.
And I was like, and we were gonna go grab a cup of coffee, and she was like, well, I can't go. My parents had to run out. Nobody, I don't have anybody to watch Al. I'm like, well, fucking bring him with. I don't care. She's like,
That's a win.
and she was just,
That's a good green flag.
she said, you don't care? I said, why would I care?
Yep.
This is not a date. We're going to hang out. Alex is okay. He's well behaved. I don't care. Bring him with. And so, and it is like the first, he's like, we're going where now? So, hey, buddy, you want to go get some supper? He's like, what are we getting? It's like, well, you can get whatever you want. I mean, they got a whole menu.
Aw,
You can get chicken or fish or a burger, whatever you want. Chicken fingers.
there you go.
Hey, you can get chicken strips. I don't care. So we get to the restaurant and it was kind of funny because he didn't want to talk to the waitress.
Yeah, a lot of littles don't like
And
that.
like,
Yeah.
and then again, this is like when he's like 4 years old.
Yeah.
He also hadn't quite figured out how to whisper yet. So
Little kid whispers are
yeah,
so loud.
he was like,
Yeah.
hey, I want chicken. And I'm like, you would like the chicken, please. Chicken strip. Okay, what kind of sauce do you want with your ranch? Like, and it sounded like I'm like, power of Christ compels you. Jeez. Okay. And so, and this kind of leads into the story of the one time where I just had a waitress where she's like, you ain't getting shit. Because we're sitting there and so she was I was fairly familiar with this restaurant because I had been there plenty of times and Shauna had been there plenty of times too, but Alex had never been there. And this waitress was definitely new and she was not good.
Mm.
And at this point, like the owner of the restaurant had been trying to poach me to come work there for like months. So every time he saw me, he came over to talk to me. And so we put the order in, and the waitress is like, well, aren't you just a cutie, honey? Are you out with your dad? And I'm like, and Shauna goes, well, no, actually, he's mine. And that just apparently went in one ear, not the other. She's like, is this your babysitter? And she's like,
Oh my
and Alex is just sitting there like,
God. Staring at her.
yeah, staring at her and not talking. And Shauna's like, no, no, I just said he's my kid. And I'm like, now to be fair, yes, Shauna was quite frequently mistaken to be younger than she was. Because she's math is hard. Four and a half months younger than me. So
Months. Okay.
months, not there's no significant age gap here.
Okay.
This is when we were
She
like,
just looks young.
yeah,
Okay.
we were like 24,
All
25.
right.
You know, yeah, it was no, it was right before I turned 25. So yeah, so we're both like 24. And Alex was, like I said, he was like 4. And so and apparently the waitress thought she was a teenager. And I was like, wait a minute, pump the brakes here for a minute, lady.
Mm, we don't assume. Never assume.
If she's the babysitter, he's the kid, I'm dad. Where where's mom in this equation? Because you didn't say is that your sister? You said is that your babysitter?
Yeah, Dad's blinking the babysitter. That's
He's
not
like,
hard to
what
figure out.
are you trying to imply here? She's like, oh no, I didn't mean it. I'm like, where do you think mom is during all of this? She goes, I don't know, the movies or something. I was like,
How old was this waitress? Like, if you had to guess.
middle aged.
Oh, like an
Yeah.
adult. Oh, yeah,
Grown
no. Yeah.
ass, like
Oh, just an idiot.
late 30s
Idiot. Yeah.
easily. And I'm being generous when I say that. Um, and she was an idiot. And she was like, I don't know, maybe the movies or something. I was like, lady,
Thinking too
you're
hard.
damaged. Who hurt you?
Just bring us our food.
I was like, can we just get our food, please? Like and Alex got his chicken fingers and his fries, and I don't remember what Sean ordered, and I don't think I ordered anything because I got a cup of coffee and like
We're just gonna get through this meal quick.
yeah, I was just like, you know what, this is already ruined for me. I'm just gonna nurse my coffee, and I and oddly enough, that this is back when I used to still smoke too, but even when I used to smoke like a pack and a half a day,
Mhm.
I never even had a desire to smoke when I was around kids. Like just my brain, I didn't get cravings. I didn't want cigarettes.
Right.
So I
Oh,
was like, I didn't even like sit there and have a cigarette. I just drank my cup of coffee and just.
nice.
And then Shauna was like, "Are you worried about the bill? Because I can cover our food." And I'm like, "No, I'm not worried about the bill. I
I just asked you out at a
go."
restaurant.
I was like, "We already established this isn't a date, and I know why are you assuming I'm paying?" And she was like, "Well, I wasn't," but I'm like, "No, I got the bill. I'm just fucking with you. I
It's
don't care."
such a
But,
douche. Oh my God. Your
but
wife is a saint. I'm just
well,
gonna
like
say
I said,
that.
at the time we weren't dating at
Right.
the time, so I was like under zero obligation to pay
I
for.
know. Well, you suggested they go out.
Yeah, but
So I
like
mean,
it was my idea, so I was like,
right.
of course I'm going to pay for it. That's just. But I still was going to give her some shit about it though too. So
Yeah. My nephew, my youngest sister-in-law, who's my age, her son, he was a little flirt and he would just flirt with the waitresses like at 3. He'd be like, he would just gaze up at them with just big eyes and a smile. And they all loved him. Like he would go to a restaurant and he's like, "You're so pretty." And the waitress is like any age. And there's one like my sister was telling me, he's like, this woman was old enough to be his grandmother. And he's like, "You're so pretty." And like just big eyes and just completely sincere. She would walk by, he'd look
some
at her.
ice cream.
Yeah, he'd look at her butt. Like he was just like he liked the ladies. He was just like like all ages, all ages. Like they went to another restaurant where the waitress was really young and really cute. And my brother-in-law was like, "Dude, you gotta take it easy." And he's like, "She's really pretty, Dad." You know, like and like, but like that stage whisper that little kids
Yeah.
don't have any volume control. He's like, "I love her." Like that's just the waitress is
Yeah.
like,
Now, Alex was never quite that. I mean, he was kind of a flirt, but he was like not quite that bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
all the
I
way.
don't know. I don't know where my nephew got this. Like, no clue. I don't know if he likes girls now, honestly, but
Well, I
then
mean,
he certainly did.
but yeah. Well, the funny thing was the waitress, the one I was complaining about, she actually screwed up his order. He ordered chicken fingers and fries. She brought him a plate of freaking bone-in wings. I'm like,
For a child?
this isn't what we ordered. Um,
Oh my God.
oh my God, I'm so sorry. Here, hang on a sec. I'll just take that. And she comes back with pasta. I'm like, chicken
Oh for 2.
tenders.
Yeah.
And so, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you know what? Bring me a beer too. Bring me a Miller Lite. I need a
I'm
drink.
drinking now. Yeah.
And Shadow was like, are you drinking? I'm like, I'm having a beer. I'm not, I promise I'm not going to get drunk and take your kid home. I'm not
Yeah.
that guy,
We're not doing that. Yeah.
but I need a beer. And so she brought me my Miller Lite and
Did she
finally
bring you like a cocktail or just a beer?
just the beer.
She got that right.
Yeah. Well, that she had to, go to a different person to
Oh,
get
somebody else prepped that. Yeah.
instead of just grabbing whatever happened to be in the window apparently and bring it out. Like, oh, here's your food. No, that's someone else's food.
Who else's food she just keeps taking?
Pretty much. And so it was after she was meandered off to wherever the hell she went, would go work on side work or whatever. The owner comes over and says, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? How's it going, Aaron?" I'm like, "New girl?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know about this one." And I looked at him. I said,
No good.
"No, she's no good. She sucks, bro." I'm like, she brought us the wrong food twice. He's like, "Are you drinking a beer?" I said, "Yes, I'm drinking a beer." He goes, "You never drink a beer before sundown." I said, "I drink a beer before sundown all the time. I never drink a beer here before sundown." He's like, "She's that bad, huh?" I said,
Yep.
I'm just saying." And he's like, "Well, okay, he says, I think I might have to have a talk with her." I'm like, "Yeah, don't do it on my account. I'm not telling you how to run your business." Then,
I just need to get my food done first before you have a talk with her.
well, then when the bill came, I was just looked at it and I'm like, let's see, 15%, that makes that an odd number.
Mm,
Like, or I can just make this, and I was like, I can just make it an even $20, and then that's like 11%. Fuck it, that's all she's getting.
yep.
The only time I've ever tipped somebody under like
Yeah.
15% was, I was like, you're only getting the change to round this up to an even number.
Yeah. It's rare that I do that. And I'm at the point now where
Actually,
if,
I was gonna say
mhm.
the only other time where I might not tip 15% is if the bill's like, $700
Oh,
because
no, you got it.
I'm
That's different.
I'm
Yeah.
not tipping you $100. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but yeah, I find now that when we go out, it's because I'm not carrying tons of cash, but I always try to make sure I have cash because I don't like putting tip on a card.
Yeah, me too, actually.
So I'm more because I'm of
To some extent,
my mindsets are either they get tipped out incorrectly or the I don't know if the owner tips out every night or if they got to wait a week. Like I don't know if
check.
it's cash, they just get it. I don't know what the rules are. And I don't know how fast and loose some owners play. And I'm like, you know what?
Well, on the other
I'm
hand,
just going to
also
give them cash. I know it's good.
Jersey, I don't know how things work out there.
Well, they shouldn't. People shouldn't do that. And I'm pretty sure most places we go to don't. But I always think there's got to be like a sketch place somewhere
Oh
along
yeah,
the
no,
way.
there's well, I've worked at sketchy places.
Yeah.
Oh well, we pool tips here. No, that's a terrible.
No, that's bullshit. I don't like that at all.
I don't. I don't. I
That's
don't want
class project.
pitch in the
That's a
quarter.
class project. Nope.
No,
Nope.
but
That's absolutely incorrect.
yeah, like I said, I generally try to carry cash unless, and
Yeah.
like I said, unless I'm
At least just enough to for tip. Like
yeah,
I'll put I mean I'll put the I'll charge it and then they're like it's 2% because now it's like all the surcharges and the credit card fees. I'm like fine. I didn't come out with 150 bucks planning to go out to for dinner and drinks or whatever. In
yeah.
fact, I tipped the shit out of we ended up going out last minute decision on Valentine's Day because who does that? So we ended up at like Longhorns. Like I was like, I want a steak, and there's no steak places by me, so we drove all the way to Longhorns, which is me fine. It was good, and we go in there hour and a half wait. I'm like, okay, because it's Valentine's Day and Friday. It's a Friday and Valentine's
Friday,
Day.
Valentine's Day.
It's packed. So I'm like, whatever. So we go stand at the bar, and I managed to get a seat at the bar, and then Paul managed to get a seat at the bar, and the bartender's like, "You want to eat at the bar?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll eat at the bar."
We'll leave it at the bar.
So we ate at the bar, and when he gave us the bill, and I had overshot it in my head, and I realized he didn't charge me for a drink, he didn't charge for something else. I'm like, I'm tipping the shit out of this guy.
For
So,
sure.
because I'm like, well, do I mention the drink or just tip him? And I'm like, I'm just
Just
gonna
give them
tip
the
him.
money.
I'm just gonna give him the money. And I feel bad because I'm like, maybe he honestly missed it because I was like, oh, I don't want to steal. But then I'm like, nah,
Well, no, see,
it's
technically,
fun.
he didn't
Yeah.
steal. Technically,
Well,
he stole. So
yeah. Well, he neglected, so it was on him. But I don't know, whatever the bill was. I think I tipped him like 30 bucks. I mean, the bill was under 100, but I was like, he was great. So
great. That's
he was very nice. So
that,
I was like,
that's
come on,
always
man.
nice. Like we went to one of the casinos over here for dinner one night because they always got nice restaurants in there.
Hmm.
Because you got to have some. Because you can go to the regular restaurant or you can go to the fancy one, and we decided to go to the fancy one day
Every once in a while, fancy's nice.
lunch, and because it was I just had oral surgery like a couple weeks prior to that,
No, okay.
and I busted one of my teeth, um, and the crown had come off, and the tooth just crumbled, and I had to have it removed. So I hadn't eaten anything solid for like 2 weeks.
Oh, you're like, I want good food
I was like, I want something good, and
that I didn't have to cook.
exactly. I'd taken the day off of work. Sean and I had something that we had. I don't remember what it was. We had something that we had to do, and then we went to go to get. I was like, let's go get lunch. We're going to the casino. She's like, why do you want to go to the casino? I said, because we're going to that Gordon Ramsay place inside the casino. I
Nice.
want some good food. And so we went in there, and
What did you think of it?
they actually we didn't get to eat there because were closed. So
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a
remember
bummer.
why. There was an equipment issue or something. They had to something go wrong in the kitchen. They're
Yeah,
like,
they've one of those down here in our
sports
casinos.
bar is open, and I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, let's
fine.
go to the sports bar, and still wound up running up like a $120 bill.
Ah, well, a few drinks. I
And,
mean, for us, it's well for me because Paul doesn't drink. So
but
some.
I mean, it was mostly food, but
Oh, that's
we
good.
only got charged for one round of drinks though, and we had like three. So I was
Ooh,
like, oh, here you go, you just earned a 50. Good job.
Thank you very much. The booze is, I don't think the booze is that costly in comparison to everything because they're buying it in bulk and whatever, you know.
Trust me, I can tell you from no, it's
Hmm.
not. but but yeah, it's like I said, I want to take good care of those, and our waitress was great that day too.
That's always nice. It just makes it for a pleasant. I mean, they don't have to be all like ass kissy and sweet.
Yeah,
Like I don't need that. I just need someone
pleasant.
who's competent and pleasant. I'm good. I'm
Exactly
happy.
all it takes. Like
Here's all the money because you earned it.
yeah,
I just want someone to be like not like plop food at me like
took
thanks.
care of me. I take care of you. Everybody's happy. Everybody wins.
One hand washes the other, my friend. It's all good. Well, Mr. Aaron, it is midnight here.
I was just gonna say that. But you know what? It's midnight for you. It's 11 o'clock for me.
You're yawning.
Um, I'm I'm about ready to punch out. Uh,
Yeah.
thank you for joining me. I
Oh, it
appreciate
was
it.
fun. Thank you.
I mean, just it's always nice to just kind of sit around and shoot the shit for a little while.
I don't think we have done that. So it's fun to do.
Not really. I mean,
No, it's always been a group. So
so now it's just know each other a little better, and
yes,
yes. So thank
good
you
times.
for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much for sharing the link. It was a good time.
Sure. Have a good night, and I'll probably talk to you Monday-ish.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, I'm just saying if you hop on with Bruce and the guys in the morning,
Yeah, he sent a message out. So um, we'll see what's going on with that for Monday.
yeah, I'm we'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah,
and if not, well, we'll see what happens.
we'll figure something out.
Sure. Yeah,
Excellent. Take care.
thanks. You too.
Bye.
How do I turn this off? I'll figure.